was ice. I started, then I write. They all ducking, they hide inside. Who gonna stop me? I am the man and they all a copy. Look at them stand, they licorice sloppy. I got these hands, they straight like it's Rocky. I got the plan of becoming a leader. You just a fan, so stay in your pocket. I am the plan, the man, and you watch me. People they saying I'm really chaotic, yeah. I know I'm bad, ain't come to play. Sound like a savage, a renegade. I'm so chaotic, I show up, they cause a problem. They diagnose me a psycho, I'm taking off like a rocket. I know I'm bad, ain't come to play. Sound like a savage, a renegade. I'm so chaotic, I show up, they cause a problem. They diagnose me a psycho, I'm taking off like a rocket.
Baby, como nadie, quiero respirar hasta tu aire. No quiero que te vayas de mi nave. Tú me tienes loco, ya lo sabes. Tú te mueves, baby, como nadie. Quiero respirar hasta tu aire. No quiero que te vayas de mi nave. Tú me tienes loco, ya lo sabes. Tú no me lo pones fácil. Duro voy a darte a ti, pa' que no te olvides de mí, pa' que no te olvides de mí. Tú no me lo pones fácil. Duro voy a darte a ti, pa' que no te olvides de mí, pa' que no te olvides de mí. Puede ser que la vida nos separe, puede ser que no te guste nadie, puede ser que estemos hechos para manos, puede ser, puede ser, puede ser, puede ser que la vida nos separe, puede ser que no te guste nadie, puede ser que estemos hechos para manos. Tú te mueves, baby, como nadie. Quiero respirar hasta tu aire. No quiero que te vayas de mi nave. Tú me tienes loco, ya lo sabes. Tú te mueves, baby, como nadie. Quiero respirar hasta tu aire. No quiero que te vayas de mi nave. Tú me tienes loco, ya lo sabes. Tú te mueves, baby, como nadie. Tú te mueves, baby, como nadie, nadie. Tú te mueves, baby, como nadie. Tú te mueves, baby, como nadie, tú te mueves, baby, como nadie. Tú me tienes loco, ya lo sabes.
Ay, can't stop, won't stop till we on top. Quit, I think not. Coming hot for the #1 spot, yeah. No key, got the game on lock, ayy. Big threes when I take my shot, ayy. On the rise and we ain't gon' drop. On the grind, it's our time, just watch.
If you want it, you can get it. Life gets hard, but don't you let it get you down. Go get the crown because our time is now.
Ayy, we gotta get it. Gotta get up, gotta go, we gotta get it. Ayy, they won't forget us. Made it happen and we all became legends. We gotta get it, gotta get it, gotta get it. We gotta get it, gotta get it, gotta get it. We gotta get it, gotta get it, gotta get it. We gotta get it. We can't be contained when we leave the game. Our name will remain. We don't need the fame. You can keep this chain. We broke free, so things won't be the same. Nah, on the mission, gotta get it. Let's work. You were raised on the net. I'm raising my net worth, but it ain't about the money. Nah, it ain't about the cause. All that matters is the world knows who we are. Stars.
If you want it, you can get it. Life gets hard, but don't you let it get you down. Go get the crown because our time is now.
Hey, we gotta get it. Gotta get up, gotta go, we gotta get it. Hey, they won't forget us. Made it happen and we all became legends. We gotta get it, gotta get it, gotta get it. We gotta get it, gotta get it, gotta get it. We gotta get it, gotta get it, gotta get it.
On the starting line, 32 teams were aiming for the win. 2 remain, but only 1 can bring the trophy home. The Arabian League, the TCL, and the LFL. They all fell one after another. Some survived a bit longer, but our 2 finalists were just too strong. They did fumble at times for sure. When it mattered the most, they always prevailed. Los Ratones are back in the final and are looking to make history with the golden road of Yarels on the way. They are the clear favorites. But is there anyone on the Rift to stop the Black Plague? Who else than Barca to take this challenge? The exact same team that defeated Los Ratones 2-0 a few days ago. As the underdogs, they made them bleed once. There is no reason they cannot do it twice. But despite this straight victory, many are still underrating Barca. Yes, the way to the grand final might have been easier than their opponent, but the Spanish team made a point during semi-finals. They were always thinking one step ahead, and they literally destroyed Carmine Corp Blue, a team viewed as a favorite by most.
It was close. Casey Blue, Barca saw made all the difference in the end.
On the other side of the chessboard, Los Ratones did not forget their early defeat against the Superliga representative. In both EMEA Masters and NLC, they are often challenged and pushed by worthy opponents. But players like Nemesis, they thrive under pressure, and when put against the wall, they just become stronger. It is in the Rats' DNA to evolve. And I feel we need to talk about someone special. No. We have to talk about this player built different. Playing by the book is not for Baus. And some might say he plays like a fool, but you know that's a lie. Everyone can see how much space he creates for his team. At the end of the game, the Fool's mates are the one we'll get to smile.
They get the bounty, but at what cost?
Look at the hero's entrance. A 2-man knock-up in the back line.
In Barca esports, the individualities have less history and success under their belt. But the team has built a solid castle where all the players know exactly what part they need to play. League of Legends is a team game after all, and when they are playing on the same page, Barca players do not fear anyone. Heavy seems the crown. It might be time for a change. It wasn't just a game of skill. It was a game of patience, of control, of sacrifice. Gave up towers to control the board. Every move was made with intent. Nothing wasted. And by the end of the day, someone will run out of moves. No escapes. No defenses left.
They decide Legolas is free firing. Nemesis will clean it all up. The Rats continue to run.
Checkmate.
This is it, the last day of EMEA Spring on 2025. My name is Alexander Maya. I will be your host
Only 2 teams remain out of 32. Only 2 regions remain and only 1 trophy. So let's see who's able to lift this at the end of the day. With Aragon and Trouble on the desk, we have a lot to talk about. How are we feeling for this? Best of 5.
I'm really excited. Also, that's a cool as hell trophy. That is so cool.
We can yoink it at the end of the day. We don't have to send it to them. It looks really cool. It can look cool on anyone's stream background, you know? So
Yeah, I like this.
just saying.
And also there's representation over there. We have the Rats, we have the Big Ben. We also have representation coming from Spain. But also, how did they got here on the bracket? They were able to eliminate those opponents that so far have been the kings on their regions, but not any longer. This is it, Los Ratones versus Barca.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at this, right? Like, my first initial impressions are... What a, kind of one-sided bracket down in the bot side, but my favorite series of this entire run was definitely the Los Ratones versus Boostgate series. That was an absolute nail-biter.
I mean, TCL versus LR in the quarterfinals. Name a more iconic duo. Nail-biter in winter, nail-biter in spring. I feel like this finals has more to offer, though. I do not think this is going to be anywhere near a 3-0. Barca have done it once. They can do it again.
Ooh, I like the setup. I like this. No prediction yet. Well, the predictions are up. But with this in mind, if we need to talk about the present and the future, let's talk about the past and the history of these teams. You want to take this, Trouble? You want to talk about the past?
I mean, I just want to very briefly also mention about Barcelona, because I know it's a very newly founded org in 2022, and this will be their 4th EMEA appearance. They've made only quarters, so this is like they've gone above and beyond. But let me give you a history lesson. Hold on, let me grab my fan.
Here we go.
Okay?
Oh,
let me grab my fan. Okay. You guys can't see it very well, but up here, this will be the first NLC versus Superliga final ever in the history of EMEA. Is that because NLC sucks at making finals? Maybe just a little bit. But also, we faced a lot of French teams in the finals, okay? It was in 2021. Secondly, this will be the first back-to-back for NLC if Los Ratones manage to grab this trophy right here, which is a feat that only KC have managed to pull off. Of course, they have a back-to-back, but we can talk about this in summer. And lastly, this will be the first EMEA Masters title for Barca Esports, and that's the most important thing. The org has been out for only 3 years, and for them to make 4 appearances and win a title in such a short period of time would be fantastic.
And I think the cool part is Barca knocked out the previous back-to-back-to-back in KC Blue. So you have completely new contenders, and it's Barca holding them back from getting the back-to-back as well.
Okay, they could be the giant slayers. And we can revisit this and talk about what happened in the past, how KC made it, and how Los Ratones can make the golden road. But before I do that, I have a special surprise for everybody. I don't know if everybody's ready for this, but let's introduce our game show of the day. And for that, we need help. We need Aesthetics.
Need help.
Yeah, Aesthetics
We need help.
is the
He
game
does need
show
help.
leader today.
Ooh.
What's gonna
I'm
happen?
standing by. We'll send it back to John on the desk.
Okay, what's gonna happen is
Why are you John?
Aesthetics.
Travolta.
John
Travolta,
Travolta.
okay.
I think I've been baptized by that. So
Thank
what's
God.
gonna happen is Aesthetics is going to cosplay a champion, and you have to figure it out either by sound, by mimic. I have no idea. I just know he has to do it, and you have to find out what it is, who it is. It's a champion. That's all I know. Aesthetics, are you ready to provide the
He currently has a lollipop.
the first champion? Is that it?
Doesn't
No,
No,
this is
like,
not it.
We
eat
haven't
a
started yet.
lollipop,
No, no,
or-
I'm
Let's
warming up.
do it. Aesthetics,
All right, first champion.
first champion.
First champion.
Yes.
What on earth? Does the lollipop and the sunglasses
What?
have anything to do with it?
Oh,
I'll give. Should I say what ability? I'll give alt.
Okay.
Alt.
You are terrible at this.
I have
Or it's really good.
no idea.
No, wait, you don't know either?
No.
Oh.
Okay. Do
Throw
it one more
some
time.
champions out. I'll even do some direction.
Can I do it? Hecarim.
Okay.
No.
It's got a suck, and then you belly. What is that?
I'm also gonna.
Ah.
You dance a little bit? Is it Sona? Sona forces people to dance?
It's what?
Is that the alt that you've been
It's the
playing?
alt.
It's the
It will
alt.
suck someone back in.
No, what
it is?
You know what it is?
It sucks someone back in. I'm
Imagine-
throwing it in. Chat's got it right.
Me.
What?
It's Ergot.
Augusto. Correct.
1 point, somehow.
Was that a machine gun noise that you
Yeah,
were
it
doing?
was.
Yes.
That was horrendous.
But it's really hard because I had a lollipop near my mouth. Okay.
Second one.
Okay.
We're going to do 3.
Is that Aurelian Solo?
Come
You brought
on.
down a meteor?
Yorick?
Ah.
Come on.
Yorick?
Give it another one.
You bring
I'm
down
I'm
something?
going to bring the ulti. Ready?
Set?
No.
Oh my, someone punches downwards.
Yes, I mean, come
How
on.
hard is it?
Come on.
Volibear.
Yes.
Correct.
2 points for
Of
trouble.
course you do volley bet.
Go
I
for the last
completely-
one.
Are we going for the last one?
Get ready. I
Oh,
know
this
what
is the
this
hard
one
one.
is.
Okay,
I
I'm
know what
locking
this
in.
one.
This is the hardest one. Cling, 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 cling.
Blitzcrank?
Cling, 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 cling.
Clink, clink,
And
clink.
then, hang on.
That's the emote on 70B.
This is really good.
Bring, bang, bang, bring, bang.
He's giving
Is
you
this
the answer.
the dance?
Huh?
This
It's
is the
the
dance.
dance.
Ezreal?
And this is how they.
No.
This is how they auto.
They
How
This is
they
how they
auto.
auto like this.
Could it be Violet
I-
from Arcane?
I have no idea. Is it set?
No.
No?
No. A set doesn't dance like that.
doesn't
Come on,
Clink.
come on,
He
bro. This is how they
clinked.
auto. This is how they auto. I'm gonna throw a little spiral.
Do you know the crit animation?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Well, we gotta wrap it up. Say the name.
No, come on, just have a guess.
I'm
there's
zero.
What's the
balls.
ult? Give us the ult.
There's balls. I did.
There's
Oh.
balls?
No. The ult is like a transcendence.
A transcend.
Transcendent.
Yeah, it's transcendent.
Do
Do
show
it.
me the animation.
It's like a thing. It's a thing.
It's a thing.
Thing. It's a
It's
thing.
a thing.
It's a thing.
With balls.
With
You
Yes.
fling.
Yes.
And this is the dance.
Imagine it's Aurelia, but newer.
Oh, Ambessa?
How?
That has
How?
the
It has
balls.
no
Do you not
balls.
watch content? Do we not absorb content?
I have no idea what the dance
It's
is.
not Syndra because it doesn't clink.
No, it's really new.
See, the thing is,
Like
Ambessa
it's
It's
clinks.
really new.
Like
Use
really
brain.
new.
The newest champion.
Yeah, like really
What's her
new.
name? Yunar?
Thank you. Just
I haven't
give it
seen the
trouble.
kit yet.
My
I haven't
God.
Yes,
seen the kit.
3-0
It's
for
been
trouble.
out for 2 weeks
Oh
on PBE.
my
or
God.
on
Yunara.
Vandal.
I
They
haven't-
look
Oh my
alike as
I
God.
haven't
well.
watched the kit yet. That's not fair. Okay.
You're such a
There's
top
so many
player.
videos that have been out for like a week or
That's
two.
fine, man.
Focus
That's on
on
me,
me now.
on me.
Focus.
These
Take
guys
a
suck.
I
I had
just
six
3-0,
of these.
just
You
like
3-0.
just like Alar.
Hey, predictions. And to celebrate the fact that today is a day of music in France, in Paris as well, we give you an instrument.
Oh,
This is yours.
that's smart.
It's a
Ooh.
special
Wait.
harmonica.
Do I get one?
No,
No,
you lost. You got
lost.
Oh.
swept.
I did get
Can
cleared.
you do like anything? Can you play anything for us trouble?
I've got like lip gloss on. I don't want to ruin it. Does it ruin it if I do?
I don't think so. I don't know.
Play this. Oh,
You-
I'm sorry.
That's so cool.
Clutch.
Wait,
That's-
that's so good.
That's the theme of being 3-0'd
Okay.
on the game show. And if we're talking about 3-0 and Los Ratones have to do it if they want to achieve the golden road. They
That's
have
right.
to win all 3 splits in a row. They have 1, they're close to 2, but another team did something close. Let's talk about this.
Yeah, I mean, looking at this, right, I think the big thing is that Los Ratones, they still have another split to go, right? And the point in this is if they keep winning, right, the point is that they've won winter playoffs in the NLC in winter, then they won the EMEA Masters in winter, then they won the spring playoffs in the NLC, and now they've got to win this, and then summer, they can achieve the golden road, which hasn't been done before
See,
in the EMEA.
KC 2021 was the closest team to almost make it in the ERLs. They won both spring and summer EU Masters back then. Unfortunately for the NLC historians, they wouldn't like that result. We lost both of these, 3-1. And they did fumble in summer. They got second place, which is a very KC thing to do. They take second place in the LFL and they come to EMEA Masters, just win everything.
Yeah.
But I feel like the road for LR is a bit
It's a
harder.
little bit harder since they've added another split. So you've also added another EMEA. So they would have gotten it if they won this, but now there's another. But still, you know, they're on the path.
You know what?
The harder the
Tell
better.
me.
The harder the better.
The harder the better. Okay, I have to ask this because regardless of all this, they still lost versus Barca 2-0 on the upper bracket. And I think it means a lot because I think it was Baus that was saying that doesn't matter if you go on the upper bracket. It doesn't care.
It doesn't care.
What would happen if you face them on finals? Because that could happen.
I mean, we have the buff. Like, that's the thing. When we played versus them last time, if we lose, we're not out. If we lose now, we lose for real.
True.
And I have this thing where it actually matters. I don't care when the games when there's loser bracket, when we can lose a game and we're fine. I don't care about the game then. I'm just trolling. But now when it actually matters, I'm just gonna lock in and it's gonna be completely fine. We're not gonna be losing versus them again.
You need to win.
You heard it from the double NLC champ and one-time EMEA Masters champ. You heard it. He was just trolling in the upper bracket. He's just trolling.
I hope so. I mean, do you think it's Co? He did kind of smack. I really hope he was trolling.
I don't know, man. I remember the Cho'Gath versus Trundle, Chachi, into Baus.
But then on finals.
True, okay, fair.
I gotta say this. I gotta come clean. I was a viewer of Baus in 2022 on NLC. I was addicted to all these videos. And I swear, as soon as they announced him as a pro player, I'm like, this is not going to work out. He's different. He's built different. Actually built different. He's a different sort of player. But when we look onto the other side, is there a way for Spain to win this? How can Barca actually win versus Los Ratones?
I think there's a few different avenues, right? But like looking specifically at some things that haven't been talked about too much before. One of the things is, I think despite all this time, I still don't think LR are that great in terms of lane swap scenarios, specifically Baus. I think he often overextends or takes waves and pushes waves when a lane swap could be coming. This clip just you have on the screen just showcases that a game where Barca actually won the game through lane swapping away from Renekton lane and 2 scaling lanes in the bottom and top side of the map to then win the game and carry through this way, just to showcase how good they are. And on the other hand, you have this dive from Los Ratones, which went really badly, right? This went really, really badly versus Busquets. Lost the lane for Baus later on. The side lane was unplayable afterwards, and they botched it 2 for 2.
You'd think Darius is going to double kill.
And
but
yeah,
I feel like this one is the worst.
Yeah,
right?
that's
like
the worst.
One more wave. It's the classic one more wave boss. Just let me get one more. But I feel like, especially when you're going into Barca, right there you're giving a kill to Zeri, right? That's 5-0 Zeri later on. But I feel like specifically in the context of playing against Barca, Thager as a jungler is a guy that will get to the play just about to cash in on those kills. And he's playing a lot of aggressive champions that really spike in that early to mid game to really take over a game. So you cannot afford to be given free kills like this.
Yeah, I just think specifically they disrespect when swaps could be coming. That's the most important thing.
And 2 things that are for sure for Barca: Death, Taxes, Whiting mid lane to support Chocolate. And particularly this player right here is what I mean about that mid plus support synergy for Barca. Fantastic trade from Chocolate onto Nemesis. That was their series in the group stage. And then Whiting is the first one to move.
Yeah, and I think because of this, because of how I've seen Whiting play multiple series in a row, where he always roams mid and plays around mid for Chocolate, I think bot lane prio is going to matter a lot. Because the person who can move first from bot lane will be at mid first, right? So champions like Alistair who don't get a lot of prio early on and might not be as valuable.
And it's interesting that we're showcasing those weaknesses, and it's all clips versus Barca, the team they have to face. Well, not only you can try to clean those weaknesses because you know you're going to be facing, but I think the opponent have you on the target. And when you talk about this, all those timelines, by the way, the timestamps on those replays were really, really early. So if you give the early game for the opponents, can LR come back from that? Because I think like early game and LR, they don't go well hand in hand.
I mean, I will say, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I think a lot of early games have been extremely weak. I feel like there's a lot of disrespect happening, maybe sometimes from the side of top lane. I feel like, for me at least, Nemesis was the best laning mid lane in the tournament. And I feel like, for me at least, Chocolate has taken the lead onto that matter as well. And I feel like, if anything, the most stable part of Los Ratones has been that bot lane, Crowny and Reckless, but I feel like it's all going to be around that early game and how little can LR lose to then come back with their team fights.
Yeah, it's important because the enemy support, Wyden, is so fast as rotating. Like,
Yeah,
that guy doesn't care. It's like, you good, Legolas? Good, I'm out. And that's going to be really complicated to deal with. But LR are still the favorite somehow. Why?
Well, I think a big part of that is that anyone can carry on this team. Don't you think? Like, at any point, you randomly have Baus carrying. One game he might in, then you have Baus carrying on the other side. Then another game you might have Velya carrying on the Kindred once he gets his stacks. And then you might just get, for example, Zillion 2v2ing in mid lane for some reason, winning in lanes that shouldn't be for Nemesis. I think anyone on this team can carry, and that's the fantastic part.
And I feel like it has been a continuation of like Reckless as well. He's got top KDA in the entire tournament. Like these guys, Braum, Alistar, Rakan, like he has been impeccable with his timings, the way he coasts in and out of the team fights, particularly his Alistar. I feel like it's by far his best champion.
Yeah, I think you have another one in line, but
I like his Rakan a lot.
I gotta agree.
I love the Baolan skin.
Yeah, he does use that. And I just think the way he plays team fights, there was a game before recently where he went 0-0-21 or something, which is just crazy. I mean, I think he has, did you say, maybe, I think I heard you say before, he has the highest KDA in the tournament or something?
Yeah, he does.
Right, it's just a phenomenal stat. And I think just the way he plays Rakan is great.
If someone plays like Alistar and Rakan and doesn't die, has the highest KDA on this sort of tournament.
I think
Alistar specifically, yeah. You and me, we know. We've seen his spacing and cooldown management. I think it's disgustingly good.
Yeah.
Especially when he goes in bushes. Like, he goes in, engages, goes away. I'm like, I'm out of the fight, guys. Don't worry. 3 seconds back, he's like,
I'm going crazy when I'm like, you're playing Rakan so well and Alistar. Stop having an obsession with damn Braum. Like, just stop it, man. Like, we saw some purposeless Braums on the Rift throughout this entire tournament. I'm like, it just looked miserable for KCB as well when they had a purposeless Braum. It's just like, you go Alistars, you go Rels, you go Leonas, you go Rakans. Just play all that stuff. Like, have agency for your game.
So imagine LR are capable of surviving that early game and they get to mid-game. I think that's where they spike. I think that's the reason where they spike. Especially when Baus has found like some openings where he doesn't die a lot, and it doesn't say on me. I think mid-game...
He still dies.
He still dies.
Very much.
But achieves things, right? What do we expect for mid-game?
Once he's scaled up, once they play the team fights, that's really where LR come online. And I think a big part of that is also they draft for this, right? I think when you look at LR drafts, a lot of the time they're drafting 3 losing lanes, losing jungle matchup, and then they prage. They prayed, and then they somehow get to there 15, 20 minutes in, and they can come online. It was the same with the Zillion drafts, the same with almost all their drafts, because they like to draft the composition.
There was one Kindred mark at 17 minutes.
And
remember?
Velya just kept saying, I just need 4 stacks, guys, 3 stacks, please, you know?
But like they had like no prior.
And they I can't do anything.
So miserable.
And that makes it hard for him to play, right? Because often what Velya will do is he'll act as the bridge. I remember a Poppy game as well, where he's trying to act as a bridge for a Cassiopeia and a Zeri, and that's his entire role. So I think sometimes they neuter Velya a bit and his agency, but overall it just seems to work.
If we talk about the bridge, I want you to talk about that bridge, because I've heard that topic from you. The bridge from Velya in the top lane, by not allowing Baus to get exploited.
I think Velya has been the unsung hero in terms of he doesn't necessarily shadow Baus, but the way he will intercept enemy jungle, he will invade, he will take camps, he will push enemy jungle to the other side. He doesn't allow Baus to fall victim to those ganks that we've seen him fall down to before. And I feel like this is why Velya is so important. Velya on a good day, where he plays to support Baus's playstyle, is a great day for LR. We saw Velya not have a so great day versus Boostgate, and Baus really did suffer over on the top side of the map.
Yeah, and I also think it's not just Velya as well. Velya supports Baus heavily, but it's also the rest of the team. I've said this before, like a couple of days ago on broadcast, where I just heard a comm from Nemesis, which was... Baus wanted to farm another wave. Classic.
No way.
But the enemy team had Hextech portals, and Nemesis said, Baus, I can see them taking the portals. If you take that wave, you're gonna die. And Baus turned around. He changed.
He changed.
And he took the portal, he walked away, and he recalled.
Sometimes he's able to deliver some things that were like, how did you pull this off? I think
whole
we have a
team
replay from mid-game fights, especially for Baus, with his Jax. The AP Jax.
I mean, this is just the team fight of the tournament for me from a top lane perspective. He played so well, ducking and weaving. I mean, I just keep watching this because it's so good. That's the first Counter-Strike combination. He comes back in, plays around. I believe he's going to get a flash onto the backline in the Dragon Pit as well at one point. It's just such a good team fight.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is kind of like the skill checks that we expect to see from LR, right? This is the fights where when they're down even 5,000-6,000 gold, they know where their team comps spike. I mean, all that experience that they have on their players, all those titles, like just among them, EMEA titles, they have 8 on Los Ratones. And I'm not even going to mention Worlds Finals, Worlds Appearances, LEC titles. I'm not going to mention any of that. I'm just going to stay strictly to ERLs. They've got 8 EMEA titles in their names on the side of Los Ratones.
Remember the number we had that we brought in from Los Ratones, the experience they had
30
total?
years, was it?
32 years.
32 years of
professional
experience.
They have more years of experience than
Wow.
you have of life.
That's a really weird perspective to have, actually. It's true.
Sorry, boss. Sorry. And they're not washed up. But when we talk about the skill check, I think this is exactly what they want. They want to skill check the enemy. So if Barca brings that up, maybe that's the way that Los Ratones can take it, especially when Baus goes in for those skill checks. He might get a few kills or solo kills, and he might die sometimes. They'll make trouble.
I mean, Baus, he really does skill check. This was my favorite one, where he goes for a solo kill, just ducks behind Fog of War. Aatrox doesn't see him, suspects something though, but then the chains you see as Aatrox face checks the Halo Blades Cho'Gath, knock up into silence after, so Aatrox can't disengage, insta, and then here, AP Jax. The most important thing versus Baus, I feel like, is knowing his champ's damage as good as him. Otherwise, you're gonna die.
How can you know though? Like the damage of a 4-item, 5-item AP Jax as an Ezreal. He took 60% of his HP bar in a
It's just
counter
ridiculous,
strike.
isn't it?
Like, and then Halo Blades Cho'Gath. Like what?
And the way he provides the CC with that Sho'Gath, you get knocked up and you're like, okay,
In the knockup, he's already procced Halo Blades. Like
There you go.
the skirmish is over.
You think you're gonna flash, but you get silenced, and then nom 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 nom, and you're dead.
Yeah.
And that's it. It's really hard to play versus Vals at the end of the day. But I want to look into another lane. I think this, to me, and I think we all agree, because I think you brought it up, mid lane for these two, like for Barca and for Los Ratones. I think the mid lane is where we need to focus, because those two names going face to face is ridiculous. But why?
Well, first of all, I feel like Chocolate is
Yeah.
the guy of the tournament, in my opinion. Especially since he didn't come into a favorite team. He didn't come in as the favorite name. I feel like he has been a demon.
Just to put you on the spot, would you put him as the MVP of the tournament so far?
I probably would,
Yeah,
honestly.
respectable.
I remember the guy back in 2020 summer when he won his first EMEA Masters with a Go Rogue back then with names like Sigenda, Zansara, Wulai, Trimby, all the big names. 4 or 5 of those players made LEC literally the season after, including Chocolate, right? And ever since he's been coasting in the ERLs after he got taken out of Excel back then, I feel like this is his tournament. This is his year. He's been playing incredibly well. I think it's his meta as well, because things like Syndra, Azir, Hui, like control mages is where the guy strives.
Yeah, and just showcasing their best games in terms of statistics. Those were their best KDA games, and now I believe
how
we're gonna-
close as well.
Yeah,
Really
they were very
close.
similar KDAs, and we're going to see the best DPM games. Just to look on the other side of Chocolate, Nemesis. The game that the highlights I want to look at are specifically the Vlad. That Vlad gameplay for me was some of the best
Kinda
Vlad gameplay.
disgusting.
Yeah, exactly. It's some of the best Vlad gameplay I've ever seen, and the best fact about that is the comms for deciding how they played Vlad. It wasn't prepared.
Tell me.
No,
yeah.
it was a random blind pick. It wasn't random because no way plays. There's no way classic. He played blind picks Gangplank, and Bao says, "Yo, Nemesis, this is a great Vlad angle, right? You've got a Lulu on the other side. You can get past. You can dive the backline, and you can play into the Gangplank. It's a really good lane." And he does it. He dominates lane phase and absolutely 1v5s at multiple points. He's so good for doing that. Just being able to pull out and play at the highest level a random champion.
And I feel like when we're talking about DPMs, the Vlad game is very impressive, but that's Vlad, right? He can really pull
Yeah.
high numbers. On the other side for Chocolate, that's an Oriana with 1300 DPM. Usually that's a burst kind of champion. You get your big shockwave, you overextend, you die in the fights. But right here, Chocolate, not only does he pull so much damage out of, I don't know where he pulled that out from, but he's the reason they won that series overall. It was versus Sexuality, the first best of in the group. He backdoors double inhibitor while the enemy team is taking Elder Dragon, and then he backdoors the Nexus for the win while his team is 4 versus 5 and losing the fight. Like, the decision making on both of these guys, the raw damage, the strong laning phase. This is why this lane is worth looking at.
Yeah,
today.
I think both of the mid laners in multiple games have kept both of their teams in the games.
Alive, yeah.
Absolutely, right? Like in so many different instances.
You were talking about that example of the Oriana, the backdoor, to backdoor again. That series was way closer than anybody would thought
I
it
think
would
the
be.
Italian team has given them more for series than any other team for Barca, I swear.
If it wasn't that Oriana, we could have a different team on finals, right? Because that game was decided by the Oriana alone. It was like, guys, I put you on the bag, let's go.
True.
Because that Oriana just decides everything. It's not like the team is not playing, but the Oriana.
I'm telling you, that was Chocolate dragging his team along the finish line. It's like, no, we're winning this. They were like, no, we don't want to win this. Yeah, you're going to win this.
So we
That was
talked
him.
about, hey, all players on LR can carry, but I think the same applies to Barca. And like the shot callers or the big names, Nemesis and Chocolat, they are the ones to bring it up. Again, look, they're so close in terms of statistics.
Yeah.
DPM, KDA, and also on this.
And I think the word of the day for this series is similarity. I feel like the entire team is relatively similar. And then also the mid laners are really, really similar as well. You have similar statistics, right? We're going to see champion pool, similar champion pool. I just think similarity is the word.
And I feel like it's also really cool to see their gold at 15, right? They're both very, very dominant mid laners. Last time around, the Checo got the lead. This time around, I don't think Nemesis is going to let us slide through. But the fact that they have more shared champions than individual shows you... I feel like this is the beauty of this, right? It's both of their meta. The control mages in the mid lane is the bread and butter for both of these guys.
Yeah, and you also have the pairing champions. Something that I think is worth highlighting as well is that R5 is probably going to be very important for both of these mid laners because I just feel like both of these mid laners have really deep pockets. Nemesis can counter whatever you're going to blind. You know, you blind pick Ryze with the Pantheon, let's say, for example, you're going to face a Cassiopeia, right? I think it's really hard to blind into a lot of these, both of these mid laners, and it's going to show.
I actually think it's going to be the opposite. I think these guys are going to be arguing for the Syndra, the Ahri, the Talia.
I think
obviously,
early on,
Nemesis does not play the Talia, right? So I feel like for the first 1, 2, maybe third game as well, Azir, Hui, Syndra, Ahri are gonna be B1able for sure.
Oh, so instead of going for the priority at the end,
you take what's best. You just take it straight away.
I saw something funny on Twitter where it's like the mid laners. I believe it was random. The mid laner. He said in the previous series, Lost Return to Syndra got left up B1, and he said classic rookie move because that's what they did as well. You know. So just the presence that they have with these blind picks.
Random did not have fun into Nemesis. I'm just gonna say.
So I think just these pocket picks warp draft so much. It's gonna be really, really cool to see.
Okay, we're just getting information that we're getting close to the time and the teams are getting ready, obviously, but we still have a little bit more time to talk about this. I want to go back into the mid lane. I think it's quite important. When we look into the champion pool and the shared champions, we were talking about how can you counter this, but since it's a fearless draft, they're not going to run out of champions, which is usually the thing. We look into the top lane, oh, Baus has run out of champions. Mid lane, it's the opposite.
Yeah, sorry, you go ahead.
One thing that's very interesting, I'm going to put production on the spot right here. If we can pull the champions back up on the screen, I feel like one thing that's really interesting about the champion pool of Chocolate is that Checo also plays Corki and Tristana, which can be very easily paired up with AP champions over in the jungle, right? And I feel like the Talia, which Nemesis hates with spite. He really hates that Talia, but I feel like it's one of the most OP champions in the mid lane right now.
Broken. I think Talia's incredibly broken as well, yeah.
Yeah, it's Nico too. How dare he?
As support. I mean, to be fair, it is nerfed, but if he hated it before the nerfs, I don't know what to say. That champ's broken.
There you go. We got it.
There you go. Now you guys have the visual as well. You see the Corki Tristana Talia. Seeing the Talia only on the side of Chocolate is kind of crazy.
And you know what I'm thinking about? Like, the thing I'm anticipating most about draft is just what they flex. Because last time I was doing NLC in Windsor, I believe it was the finals, I remember everyone getting so surprised. Like, whoa, the Cho'Gath flex. And the first 3 they actually flexed it to, was it mid lane? And Nemesis played mid
lane,
I feel like for finals, they always cook up something. Casual's going to cook up something crazy along with
Galio
Odo.
too here, right?
Yeah, exactly. It was an Odo, it was a Galio flex. And I just wonder what they have this time around. Last time it was Vi, I believe, first game flexed to top lane, which is a classic for them.
We got a Kled top lane as well. There's always a cooking being done.
What is the spin this time around? That's what I want to see.
Oh, we never know with those guys. I think we never know. And you were talking about
Let's not forget the tweaking with the Volibear B1 as well.
There you go. When we talk about the mid lane Nemesis going for only AP, well, at least leaving Velia out of the AP route on the jungle, I think they can do that because Baus can play the AP top and Velia can rotate into an ED jungle. So they flex the flexibility.
I also feel like with champions brought in, like Kha'Zix, Viego, Kindred, Poppy, you've got a lot more choices as AD in the jungle than you would traditionally have with just Pantheons and Zhao, Nafiri, you know, like the very generic S tier kind of AD bruiser pool. So I feel like I'm not worried for Velia to like run out of champions because he showed that his pool keeps getting deeper and deeper.
May I pick your brains before we start this one?
Go ahead.
We have a few minutes, a couple of minutes.
Much, sure.
With we shared that. It's a shared champion pool, by the way.
Shared brain cell.
When we look into the way that KC Blue got the game from Barca, it was heavy camping on the mid lane, not allowing Chocolat to exist. Versus Barca, they didn't do that, and Chocolat was allowed to roam free, and they shut down Nemesis. Where do you think Los Ratones are going to apply pressure on this game? Is Velia going to be looking to the top side? Or is Velia and Reckless going to compensate the mid lane pressure that they usually apply, Barca?
I think they're going to do what they usually do, where they have Velia on something that will cover lanes and ganks and dives until 20 minutes. And then the laners, by the time they've scaled, they can take over. I don't think they'll have some kind of crazy game plan.
I have the draft right in front of me. That
Oh,
was,
yeah?
That was Syndra, Lucian, Rel. I never want to see this again ever in my life. It was one of the worst drafts that Barca has actually brought out. And I think that was a really big problem on how they couldn't play through their lanes because they were all just perma anti-prio. So I think this was a draft diff. Casey played well, but it was primarily a draft
Let's
diff.
see what happens today. Do you want to give me numbers? I don't need names. I want numbers for the series. 3-2 for you,
3-2.
Trouble.
Every single series for Lost Returners in EMEA Masters or NLC Finals has been a 3-0.
So you think?
I'm following the storyline. I'm going 3-0. I also wholeheartedly believe that from an analytical point of view.
You know, it's really funny that we made all this pre-show with a lot of topics for each side, and this guy goes 3-0. You can go into the desk, like, take it away, guys. So we're about to jump into the first champion select of the day. This is going to be a best of 5 to decide who's the team who conquers it all at EMEA Masters. In winter, it was Los Ratones with a 3-0 final, what everybody thought there was a chance for the other side. Right now, it's going to be Spain versus the English team, Barca. They have the names. They have the numbers as well, 2-0 versus Los Ratones. Can they take away this trophy right here? I hope at least we get 5 games. I hope you have fun back at home. And let's just enjoy a good afternoon of League of Legends. With that in mind, the casters are getting ready still, and the game is about to happen. Los Ratones are going to take blue side for the first game, so maybe priority to the mid lane. But now, priority to aesthetics.
Wow, what a yap from that guy. He's amazing, isn't he?
He is.
40 years later, they still put him in the business. I love Staying Alive. I don't know if you ever saw Night Fever. That was my favorite movie. But John Travolta.
You've completely
it was named after Bee Gees songs. But
You're
yeah.
so old.
Well, I mean, I follow my betters, don't I? We're about to go into draft. Grand finals underway. Holy moly, is it underway? We didn't give it time to talk about the bands. As guys, welcome to the desk. Where do you want to start here?
You want to take a trouble? I mean, I already looked at the B1 Cho'Gath flex.
Whoa. Hold on. B1 Cho'Gath, Syndra already banned. I was expecting some Ari shenanigan to go through, whoever picks Ari first. Because Nemesis was literally saying the reason Barcelona won that first series in the group stage was because Cho'Gath had Ari in his hands.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the Cho as well. They're going to pick Xin Zhao into it, which is really cool. I just like the Vi takeaway, and I really like it when teams do this, where they take away power picks for Baus, as well as pick the meta, because the meta picks also happen to be his pool in the Cho'Gath and the Vi, so I really like that going forward in the Village.
Oh my god, we have got, I think it was Venom Crest in the NLC, where they went into the first game of a best of 5 series and picked all 5 of Baus's chunks.
I remember, yeah.
Okay. Ari is going to be picked away from Nemesis right here. I would expect something like Taliyah to be picked here. I feel like Taliyah, Vi are a fantastic duo. You can set up in lane way earlier than that level 6. And the mid-jungle duo shenanigans can be really, really strong in that.
And I know, as you were saying as well, like, this is not a Nemesis champion, so Chocolate knows he's going to get at one point or another if it's not banned. We get strong mid-jungle pairings from both. We get a neutralizer for top and the Galio. 80 carries left to isolate right now, so we have to start looking at what to ban away or the engage pairing.
Immediately what I look at in terms of AD carry pool is, so you can get an R5 on support here for Barca, is I like the Kai'Sa with the Vi dive composition. I also like Jhin over the top with the artillery to follow up on the dive. And then on the other hand, maybe stuff, Kai'Sa also works, but also Ezreal could be great.
I'm just really looking at the Varus right here, because I feel like he has been an S-tier pick for the longest time, purely because of the fact that he can be a very big menace when you go towards lethality, and he always wins lane and you get priority through the bot side of the map. So I feel like if Varus gets left open right here, it would be a fantastic pick for either or. Like for Barcelona, it can hold the advance from the side of LR and vice versa.
Yeah, I also like the Varus on the Vi side of the team, because you have a strong lane to allow Vi to clear early, and you won't have her get invaded because you're going to get prio. But again, I really think bot prio is imperative, so that Whiten can roam. So R5 support is the name of the game with blind pick R4 AD carry.
And as well for Whiten, with how he performed in that semi-finals, I mean, getting him a priority engages crucial in that point too. Double 80 carry ban from Barcelona. Barcelona. We're just falling into this trap.
Yeah.
Spain, what are you doing to us?
Technically them.
It is.
I just want to tweak the name a little bit.
Yeah, well, look, or at least get it right from my perspective as the double AD carry bans. What do you think?
Yeah, I think Jin ban enables Varus a bit more. It's usually a pick into Varus, also into MF. So if you wanted to go that route, you could. But I do think that Varus, like you're saying, is the best route for here.
I would really like to see potentially Crown even on an Ezreal here. I know he hates the champion. He doesn't think Ezreal is really good, but he's just so good versus champions that really want to dive and all in you. Same thing as Xayah, right? Xayah is fantastic into things like the Vi and the Talia. You can evade so many of their crucial spells, particularly the Vi ult that follows through. So I feel like if Barcelona don't take away the Xayah here, Crowny has been a big fan of the champ.
I think another dynamic here is hard engage to dive with, but then the Alistar into it afterwards could be a big deal. Xayah might be a takeaway when you have the Vi.
True. Actually, a really good takeaway, you're right.
Yeah, with Rakan.
Especially with all that dive. On the other side, maybe now it's just going to be a Rakan fish if we're looking at the pairings as negating, as LR, 80 carry into the Xayah. Kai'Sa usually taken here as a response. Zeri in game 1 draft.
Yeah, I'm looking at Zeri Rakan, and then maybe a Leona to counter the Rakan afterwards alongside the Xayah. Because you want to break up the Xayah Rakan, but they're going to pick this.
Enchanter.
Straight up hook champions are gone.
Lulu.
I'm getting a little bit worried right here. Because primarily, you pick Vi into the Zeri. It's one of the champions that really pins down a sleeper champ like Zeri. And now they've picked Zeri into the Vi. That already has a bunch of lockdown. You've got Silence coming through the Blitzcrank. Bunch of CC on the side of Barcelona. I feel like Los Ratones have a very good front to back later on. But Barcelona are looking to brawl early.
I completely agree. But I also think with the Lulu, I don't actually like Lulu into Vi. I think Lulu into Vi, the ulti from Vi is unpeelable. The dive is unpeelable. So even if you empower with the ulti onto the Zeri, it doesn't really matter too much. The dive is going to go through. Also having the answer, the Blitzcrank into the Zeri is super good. The Lulu rather. It's
Plus
super good.
there's many delivery services, right? Like whether it is Blitz getting a hook, whether it is Vi jumping in, Galio has follow-up here. There's also great zone control from Chocolate, who in the last series popped the hell off. I remember the Ara game. I remember the Talia game was actually how he opened as well.
It was the Talia game, yeah.
It was insane. And again, like seeing this draft, you guys are kind of inkling that you're telling me that Barca looks pretty good.
I'm inkling towards Barca. I like it a lot more. I feel like you've got slow and scaling, Cho'Gath in side lane, the same as Lulu Zeri down in bot side, and then you're playing for that front to back later on. I'm not the biggest fan of it. You're pointing at a little rat in Nemesis'
There's a little
corner.
rat hat on the left of Nemesis, you know?
Next to Spider-Man.
Next to Spider-Man hat. What does that mean?
Why does he own these?
I don't know.
The rat makes sense.
Maybe you become a rat the same way you become Spider-Man.
Oh?
A rat has to bite you the same way
fan.
as a spider has to bite you to become Spider-Man.
There you go.
You become Ratman.
Don't test that.
Don't taste that, actually.
It's not really.
I don't know what's more dangerous. I feel like the rat's probably more dangerous.
Probably.
And also, the average size of a Berlin rat is like the length of my arm.
Well, good thing he just doesn't live in Berlin. Well, let's not talk about where they live anyway. Let's get their privacy. Welcome to the grand finals. Regardless, EMEA has never seen this version of a finals. You guys were talking about it on desk. Spain versus Great Britain. NLC versus the Spaniards.
Superliga.
Superliga.
It's also right there on the whiteboard if you want to read it.
Well, I got a little bit distracted because we are having a 30-second pause apparently. So I won't welcome you in yet. I'll hold off because at the very least, tension builds.
Tension builds.
All right. Before we get in, let's remind everyone that this is a series that will be on repeat. Both of these teams faced each other in the groups. Barca took this as a clean 2-0. I feel like it was fantastic how they played around the mid lane. Particularly, Chocolate really outpaced Nemesis over in the mid lane. And I feel like that was a big telltale. Legolas right here is about to face all the Avengers coming through.
There's once though, and hard engage ain't going to come that quick as we do have a Lulu on side.
It's usually the Blitzcrank that does this invades in my solo queue, at least, you know?
And the level 1 isn't that great for Los Ratones.
Keeps going.
They've got a knock-up on Cho, and that's about it. Maybe a Charm Flash if they want to, and they're feeling feisty, but it doesn't look like they're going to go for it. Deep Vision, though, to track the jungler. That's going to be important. And the Blitzcrank lane, what this does is this allows the Zeri Lulu to perma-push in this lane down in bot side and bully under tower. Now, of course, the entire time you've got to be wary and stand behind your minions, but it looks like they're going to go for a repeat. Late invade V2.
Holding, right? Just seeing if someone face checks. I mean, they're looking for bot. Surely that's the idea.
I would say when it comes to that bot lane, because of the ranged synergy from the Lulu and the Zeri, as you mentioned, they push. However, all it takes is one Q from Blitzcrank take a flash
Yeah.
off of either of them, right? So that's kind of scary. They have been spotted. The ward is on the other side.
Wait.
Oh, the hook.
Reckless caught out, but it's just simply a heal
Instant
popped
heal.
out. Regardless, it is a summoner taken from White in, as Velia will continue to do blue.
Yeah, and this is exactly what Lost Returners want. They want to attack the Vi level 1, because that's when Vi is notoriously weak. But Vi should be happy with this. Maybe cross-map up top side with the Prior from the Cho'Gath, who, you know, should be able to get Prior in that lane with the E start. But still, going to attack the bot side, and a split map down in bot when you have a Blitzcrank isn't ideal, because then you can't play too much, and maybe you get dope.
Good point. Reckless check PC. We'll just see what happens there.
All right. On the other side, I want to say that I feel like Thager is not necessarily too sad about this, because sure, Blitzcrank gives you a lot of setup to try and gank early with the Vi in that level 3, but I think primarily, one, this Vi wants to play around that mid lane. You can still do it through the top side of the map.
Yep.
And two, BO5 has been known to fall in victim to early game good jungle timers.
True.
So I feel like it's on BO5 right here to actually keep track of where Thager is, because early on, burning a flash onto that Cho'Gath could diminish that sort of threat that he has with the Halo Blades up top.
Yeah, he's going to have to be really careful about those ganks. If he overextends, gets frozen on by White Knight, I mean, we got to bring it back to the last series with White Knight. He completely got destroyed, let's be honest. You can't sugarcoat how badly...
It's the Shen aura.
that went. It was, and that's going forward in the series. Shen Yorick, you know, demon champs.
No, you don't have to even play the champ. It's because you do play it sometimes. You've got the Shen aura.
Yeah, the threat.
The
I get
threat.
it. Ooh, hook.
It is just simply a hook. It's Ignite for the trade, so a bit of damage going to be done. Remember, Reckless doesn't have that heal from before, so slight advantage here for Barca in the bot.
I really like the fact that they're burning the Ignite right here to burn the pots onto Crowny, because in the LPL and the LCK, when you are running barrier on your AD carry, you usually want to take early trades to try and get priority in lane. Right here, Legolas did not have to burn that barrier, but there's no combat spell.
Oh, he got him. Just
On
he
the
tried
dash.
to E out. Crowny's in so much trouble. He'll have the flash, but he burns it eventually while matching from Legolas. The Q reaches tether. First blood over to Barca.
That's exactly what I meant by the early aggression. You pull him, you burn the Ignite, you take his cookies and his pots, and then it's just game on. You grab one hook, you can capitalize on it.
Yeah, recalled on Cheetah recall and came back with boots as well. And now, like, look, watch this. So he's trying to dash over the wall here, but gets caught mid-dash, so he can't dash away. And then the flash forward from Legolas over the wall as well to chase on the shield from Lulu.
Boy.
The last tick of the feathers, super nice.
Almost, that was rough. Almost, Legolas's flash was a bit too much, but Thager now using that opportunity. It's an invade that starts at red. Velia's going to be clearing away Raptor Seam momentarily.
Yeah. He has no bot lane
I
as
don't
well,
like
though.
that, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you doing here? You have no friends.
Yeah, he has no bot lane. So what happened there was Thager, he's only had one quadrant. He's been 3 quadranted, covered by Velia up to top side, now down to bot, covering every single invade that Thager's tried to make. And Thager, he's really suffering right now.
Whiten over in the mid lane as well. I feel like Thager has a chance right here to cross through mid and double scuttle Velia. That's kind of the price you have to pay. You go invaded, so eventually Velia is going to have to end up on his bot side. He has to clear his bot side, which means that the Vi gets to get the double scuttle right here and back with a little bit more in her pocket.
Yep.
We
The proxy angle.
We talked about this trouble in our Barca series versus KC Blue, where the roams to mid were endless. Maybe a roam to top's going to be next. Thager's at least here. White Knight low on mana, but all it takes is a quick gank, and Bowser's in trouble. The wave was cleared before, one crashing in, one minion denied for that. Meanwhile, Crowny steps up. Auto from Legolas almost gets a second kill, but Reckless saves the day, and Lost Returners are bleeding right now through multiple points of the map.
Lost Returners early game? Anyone?
Yeah, the 2v2 is being a bit rough right now. Having the heal burned early means that he dies earlier on, and now almost dying and having to TP back, TPing back here with BO5. So they're going to initiate a lane swap. Zeri's running up topside. And it's quite early on, so it's not going to be quite a grub swap.
He's running at them.
He's
Remember, he's
running
got
in.
Halo Blades as well. He flashes in front and he gets it! Reckless gets the kill in the end. White is set skyward. All it takes is Glitterlance and slow, and at least one comes through. BO5 finally looking for the kill that he was denied. And he gets one too. That TP turns into a kill, turns into a weird top lane gank.
TP's down in bot side and also has Dark Seal stacks. I mean, this is just Crowny getting caught and then also, you know, from the flank around the tri-bush and then getting chunked as well, having to recall. They use this to initiate a swap because they have TP on top side with the winning matchup from Cho'Gath and Galio. And then he just runs them down because Legolas has no flash from the previous play, killing Crowny.
Am I the only one who's just looking at this and I'm like, where the hell does this damage come from? But then you
It's
look at the
nasty,
Halo
isn't it?
Blades, plus the Lulu buffs coming through, and that's a double kill. Well, technically 1 kill only for BO5. Reckless
Dark
got
Seal
the other
stacks,
one.
though.
Yeah, but he got the Dark Seal stats, you're
Pretty
right.
nasty.
Eventually this will become a Medjay's. Ooh.
Boy. Good burn again. Chocolate. Good shove back. Wind becomes lightning. Velya not following this one up, but that kill really brought the game back to some kind of even moment because before we're seeing Crownie forced out of lane, Legolas getting ahead here in the AD carry. Top went a bit disastrously. That's now with a 400 gold lead after his kill.
I think that's a little bit more than kills, though. That was a very free Dragon for Barcelona down the bot side of the map, right?
True.
And right now it's not, because both of those members that were supposed to help for the Dragon have just died, so they had to reset, get back up on the map. And now Chocolate was in the mid lane. He hadn't reset yet. He needed more mana, he needed more HP. He had to go back, buy boots, get back. So right now, there's going to be 4 members down the bot lane for Barca. However, White Knight on this Galio won't have his TP available, does have his ult.
3 Talent Strike connects, and Whiting gets charmed out. Easy kill. Even though he gets a charm in, it's another one down. Lost Returners is starting to pick up gold value in this game, and Trouble, you just talked about that Dragon. Now they're just going to move to the objective easy.
Yeah, so what happened was Lost Returners opted to match lanes again rather than maintaining the mismatched lanes, but now Baus is going to get ganked.
What else can you do?
JCC?
I mean, Baus is profiting when they're getting a Dragon down bot. Meanwhile, we've got a picture-in-picture because 80 carries are fighting it out. Baus going to get a knock-up. If he gets away from this, it is going to be a disaster.
He's just
for Barca. They're going to use Chocolade's ulti, so now this walk will turn into a mild run, shoved away, and White Knight will pick him up for fun. There's something at least in top.
And now you have to be very careful down bot lane. There's no level 6 onto Xayah yet, and Velya's over on the bottom of the map. What does Los Atones get on the other side? It's just going to be the Dragon for the time being, and Legolas and Whiten will be able to push out that wave. That took a hell of a long time to take down that Cho'Gath.
Yeah, the Cho'Gath takes a while to die. You'd get the blue buff on the side for Velya as well as a cooldown from the Taliyah. 150-second cooldown on that Taliyah ult means that both side lanes can now play for a very long time without worry of being ganked by the ulti and the global.
And we just got some more issues there. That's why we're having another pause. We apologize, but apparently this one is
I love top
on its
lane.
way to being solved.
Look at the damage. Both of them just beating each other up. Isn't that great? They're just hitting each other. Two big lads.
Apparently top laners are stacked.
They are?
Yeah.
It's so funny because people look at tanks like, wow, they do so much damage. It's like, no, they don't.
They just
hit each other for way too long.
It's just so monotonous up in that lane. Well, game is fished a little bit in Lost Returners' favor. There was obviously a kill just going down against Baus that brought it back a little bit. Like White Knight has some gold now, but what I'm finding surprising is Legolas getting that early kill, Crownie dying, and then Top getting a quick pick on Baus. I feel like Barca really had the tools to move this game in momentum, but then a couple of quick plays and Lost Returners have kind of evened it out.
I'm going to be very honest here. I feel like if this does go to late game, it's going to be really, really difficult to deal with Cho'Gath, because the second you step up as Xayah or Taliyah, he actually has the damage to one-shot you. Not only is he going to be quote-unquote tanky, because he goes more for like an AP bruisery build usually on the Cho'Gath, but he steps up onto Taliyah or on a Xayah, these two die.
Yeah, it's tricky. I think also, though, they have no tools to force a Xayah ulti, which could be problematic. Running into the feathers and the rocks might be problematic as well. It works really well into the Zeri, Ahri, and Xin Zhao. That might be, you know, the peel is a little bit annoying alongside the Galio versus the melees.
And there's no really hard engage on the side of LR.
Yeah.
I feel like it has been the thorn for them for the longest time. You know, they usually fall into the Brom trap, but right here,
Flash. Hang on, we're getting in. White in, blocked by minion wave though. The Blitzcrank counter is taken now with level 6. Wants Crownie, but wow.
Flash gone.
A flash away after he rides the surfboard of the Rock's top.
But that is a flash gone. Both summoners for Zeri right before the Void Grubs fight starts.
Yeah, do they want to contest this still? They still have ulti on Crownie. And
Velya stole one.
Velya got one. I think that's a big win.
Do you play for 2? The majority is important for the feats.
You don't have the smite for Velya right there.
Oh, charm, no, Chocolate. It's a big fight, and Velya's going to open it up. Chocolate fails a flash into the wall, but they turn for the fight. Legolas, meanwhile, sends the feathers out while he gets popped up against, and Nemesis is riding a wave too, but this one is hard to control. Onto Thega. He's isolated, dead too, and Lost Returners have just blasted Barca into the ground.
This can't be happening. Whoever plays versus Lost Returners gets mind controlled. The flash onto the wall, Legolas dies with flash barrier up, then Thager cues the wall on the Raptors and doesn't go through. It's an absolute disaster for Barca.
Yeah, the flash against the wall for Chocolate really wasn't it, but it was a really nice amount of damage. I think Velya played that phenomenally.
Yeah.
He absolutely tanked so long in the front line that it was just, he bought so much time, and then Nemesis with the resets was super good.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it seems like it's a pause game one. There's obviously some issues going on.
Fnatic.
But that fight... That fight was pretty good.
I heard Los Pozones somewhere in the chat.
Oh, no. Well, that's not good. We're going to find out whether...
Have you missed us?
Apparently, there is a player. We're awfully close there, Aragon. What happened?
I don't know. We kind of just on top of each other.
This is the
Mental.
hot day.
Get cozy, guys.
It's 36 degrees today in Paris.
How
guys.
phenomenal is that?
It is, yeah.
That's awful, to be honest.
Well, I mean, at least we're inside and air conditioning, so it's okay.
Yeah.
I will say this one is a bit of a longer pause, ladies and gentlemen. I'm waiting for updates. Someone had to restart. Thank you. That helps a lot.
I'm the air conditioning.
I didn't know what was happening then.
I was blowing.
And yeah, players restarting their PC, so we're going to find out what the tech pause is for the time being. But for now, you have us. So it might be a long day, but that's okay. Barca just got absolutely annihilated in their fight. That was like a not potential game winning, but that was like it's like a 3K gold lead fight, no?
The snap engage to steal a grub and then make the play despite having no sums on your Zeri, that fast play to one-shot someone and then get the resets, breaks apart the slow fight that maybe, Barca wants. It was a super good heads-up play from Los Ratones.
I'm just going to say, I watched a few of the Nord videos where they were discussing why they lost to LR, because if you guys don't know, in the NLC Upper Bracket Finals, Nord beat LR 2-0. Same thing as Barca right here. And then when they went to finals versus Nord, they just 3-0'd Nord straight up. And now they 3-0'd Nord as well in the quarterfinals when they played against them, right? And they were talking a lot about the mental block. I feel like the whole nameplates on can actually a lot of the times be a thing. Now, pressure is on, right? There's no lower bracket for either of these teams. This is the first finals for Barca as an organization. For a lot of those players as a whole, that's their first final, never mind the title, right? So there's a lot of pressure. You're playing against some of the best players that the ERLs have to offer. And unfortunately, they seem to be fumbling the first few skirmishes.
Oh, I've been told that 3 minutes 40 is how long we've got till the game is going to be resuming. Of course, spectator delay. Everyone out there, so we have God vision or God understanding of how that's going to happen. Well, we don't, but everyone else does.
I have an idea.
You have an idea?
Yeah.
Are we going to sit?
What is the idea?
I'll show you.
Okay.
Yeah,
You guys keep chatting.
I'm pause champing now. Like, what's going on?
Is it an animal?
What are you?
No,
I thought we're playing like 20 questions. Why are you so close to me? Like, look at this. Look at this. Just a little bit. Thank you so much. Just a tiny bit.
I'm not going to lie.
I've got a chair next to me.
Like, we've got
but we've got chairs.
There's a chair next to my can't move.
we have the chairs there for a reason, because during cast, I'm not going to sit there. Oh my God, it's like a new set. Now we can actually stand.
Okay, hold up.
Because we started the broadcast like this.
Okay.
This is Aragon on me.
Okay, Hysterics, you're going to have to look at the wall. Okay.
Do I?
Yeah. Wait.
Look at me looking at the wall.
No.
Okay. What am I doing?
You're gonna put this on your head and look at him. You're not gonna look at the camera, okay? And ask him who you are. Okay, you put this on your forehead. You show him. You don't look at the camera. Don't look. Because the champion is right there, okay?
Okay. Do I turn
and
around?
Hysterics, yeah, you have to explain to him who he is.
Okay.
I have to explain to Aragon who he is.
Turn around. You have to see what the champ is.
Oh, okay. Did they see
Don't
it
look
there?
at the cameras. Don't look at the cameras.
Did they see it there or not?
You don't look. You just look
Okay.
at Hysterics.
Okay.
Do I have
That's
to
the
ask
chat.
questions? Is that how it's
Yeah, you should ask questions and then I'll do. I do yes or no. Yeah.
What role am I?
Okay, you can look now. I've hidden it.
It's top.
It's top lane.
It's top.
Am I ranged or melee?
You're
You gotta do
ranged.
the thing where you separate by halves. Right?
Ranged.
Like half. I'm ranged.
Okay, but don't ask like very easy questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
What? I was gonna say, what country am I from? What continent am I from?
Oh, I don't know that.
I think.
Is it Ionia? I think it's Ionia, no? Pretty sure it's Ionia.
I'm going to say Ionia.
It's Ionia.
No,
It's Ionia.
okay.
Pretty sure.
Why don't
Now,
No, it's not. It's Bandle.
okay.
No, it's Ionia.
And I'm
Isn't-
ranged.
Isn't Ionia? No. Okay.
Am I
I'm
Karma?
gonna search.
No.
Am I Kennen?
Yeah.
What?
You can Karma.
Karma's Ionian.
I said
And is a
Bandle
ranged top
City.
laner.
I said
I didn't hear the Bandle City.
Bandle City.
Okay.
I think Kennen is Ionian though.
yeah.
Because like in the Awaken music video, he fights with like Aurelia and stuff. So and Karma.
Does,
Yeah.
He's part of the team.
Sion's also there. And Sion's a Demacia. No, he's a
Noxian,
Noxus,
no?
is it?
Yeah.
So yeah.
there you go.
But
What's
they're
it about?
again. I thought they were against Sion in that clip.
Yeah, but I have no clue. If you're just joining us, we're filling because there's a pause that's happening. Someone had an issue. I'm sure they're just restarting their PC. Maybe that's why all the little pauses were happening. That's why we're filling like a good old boot on Christmas Day. You know?
You fill boots?
The stockings, you know.
Ah.
Or like so now they make the boots, you know, with the Santa stocking and like they stand
It's like
upright.
an initial at the front.
Yeah. You put your kids in.
Hysterics, start the game.
I will promise shortly. I've got a bottle of water, but it's got branding on
The
it. so I'm
button
not
is
gonna
right
click it.
there, and he just refuses to click it.
I do have a cup of tea as well. No, this button here, this does bad things for the broadcast. I could start the game, but
Press it, you
League
won't.
then dies at the end of this year, so I don't press it. See, that's
it's blue button, red button. It's press the button right now, start the game, but League dies at the end of the year, or wait for the pause and start it, and League survives.
I always press that button.
Yeah.
I always press it. Now, we're going to count in because we're about to get back into the game. Yeah, we're 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year! Where's
You
the
just
game?
lied to us. Oh no, there it is.
No, I didn't lie. Obviously, it must have been White in then who left the game and came right back in. Don't worry about that. He's here. I hope that's resolved. We'll keep you any updates if there are any tech updates.
He seems to be moving
He is
on
moving.
the map.
That's good. Not to the enemy nexus, I hope. But we come back from the fight.
That's not solo queue.
And, thank God, Grubs are taken by LR. They got all 3, by the way, so look at that. Insane charm.
Snap engage, the quick play onto Chocolate with the charm from the bush. This is why it's so important to have controller on the banana bush. They do have the ward, but still, the charm lands. The snap engage, pops it, he panics, flashes against the wall, and then the resets. We'll just watch Nemesis fly around.
The Faker misses the Q through the wall, the Raptors. This is so sad. Legolas survives with flash barrier up. He could have potentially made a play with the blade caller once he had ulted. Faker smashes his head on a wall as well. The whole mind control we're talking about, Los Ratones, might just be real for game 1.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's completely over, right? Like, I do think there's really good parts about this Blitzcrank specifically.
Yep.
There's no one to really catch a hook.
Wait,
I do feel like it is a hook equals kill situation.
What is happening?
What was the...
It's an attempt with the global.
Okay.
Doesn't quite make it land onto the Nemesis right there. It is a bit scuffed, though, I will say.
All right. Bouse back to his normal position between tier 1 and tier 2 enemy. Tier 1 and tier 2. This time, very good boy this time around. Just pops the ward right behind the tower, turns around, proper laning phase for Bouse, as is. I mean, like, he's 1 and 2, right? And his flash has come up, and now he's starting to stack the feast as well. So
one of the threats is down, though, for him to proxy. The Talia is down for another 130 seconds or so, so he can proxy more as long as he sees Vi, but he doesn't see Vi.
You were saying?
So...
You were saying?
He's just going to go. You know what? Throw everything out the window. There he goes. He dies. So I assumed he was going to wait to see Vi on the map. But little did I know.
Chase goes, you know. Chocolate's going to come up regardless. And I mean, Thega has to be careful because
Please don't Galio
he doesn't have his ult, rather, so he doesn't have to be careful. He's going to play around a little bit. He's going to die. But again, this time around, it's not like there's a massive trade on the other side of the map. That might be a bad death, question mark.
However, that's a 4 versus 5 on the map. You're going to get the reset from Vi while Cho'Gath is still dead. Does have the teleport, and in 25 seconds, you've got the second dragon coming up on the map. First one collected by Los Ratones over in the early game. And let's see, there is no items actually currently on both those 80 carries. Level 8 just now for Chocolate, for Legolas, sorry.
Playing with his Cranny in the meanwhile. Let's pay attention. TP is going to be poured. 5 members are going towards bot, and Barcelona want to get themselves onto Velia. Now that Bouse is here, though, this is going to erupt. Everyone paying attention to the second dragon.
Onus is on Barca right here. They have the Vi ultimate into the Galio combo. Hook lands, and it's a kill as well. But they're going to move in. It's gone.
It's just gone. It's feasted. Bouse got his fifth stack, and now they're looking for the fight. The charm again forces out the feathers to fly over the wall. Nemesis runs in, but with a wild growth, it's a bait. It's a ruse. He will die eventually. But the defensive play from White Knight keeps Los Ratones there. Crowny in full ulti. It's 1-for-1 so far, but Nemesis was looking a little bit more. Velia finding Legolas. That's what he wants up next, but Shielded Ran holds him in. Velia way too greedy. Crescent Guard popped out at no health as Crowny tries to save him. Reckless is the savior though, really. As White Knight's whittled down, and Crowny, if only he had his ulti, would do something as Bouse is looking for the mid lane, and ulti out from Checkerlad. A 1-for-1 in the end is all that was taken.
That is so miscoordinated by Barca. There is no Talia ult to begin this dragon fight, to break them apart, to try and scout. They're too late to the party, so they play spectator mode for majority of that. And by the time they go in, they're stuck in a choke point. 4 versus 5, because Chocolate never joins them.
I think the idea here is that Legolas ultis and they play in this choke, right? With the feathers in this choke, the threats of it.
The 4-man
knock-up is so good. And then you have Checkerlad never joining this fight. The disengage is there for Barca, and then they can hit mid with a grub, I believe.
I feel like if Talia was there, that fight would be over for Barca. The 3-man knock-up that White Knight managed to get onto the Galio, into the taunt, into the knock-up as well would have been fantastic. But again, there has been some mismanagement with the ultis. I feel like Barca are really overreaching to try and make plays mid by sacrificing the Talia wall over and over again. And this time around, it was also sacrificed to get away from a Cho'Gath that was chasing Chocolate over in the mid lane. So, again, Cooldown usage has not been the best for the Spanish team, and so far LR find themselves on a 2,000 gold lead.
Yeah, and now you can see Reckless is pairing up with Velia here. With the Enchanter plus Xin Zhao combo, you're essentially invincible. And this really sucks for Thega, right? You really want to play on this Sundered Sky Spike, but you're really not allowed to because you don't have your support.
And playing towards Nemesis as well. I mean, this Ahri that's doing well in this game gets a bit more resilience, or rather a priority, as Nemesis just takes more plating as well. That 2k maintained to a degree as Balce is proxying. Checolade wants a kill, and he should be able to find it. Seismic shove, bit of poke damage. He does have a proto belt, but the rocket grab in makes it a little bit easy, and Balce is just going to try and kite it out. Maybe get a kill on the way, but unfortunately the Feast won't finish the job.
Not quite going to lose his Dark Seal stacks there as well. Proxying on the weak side of the map, 1 versus 3 potential is always impressive, but it's you're gonna see a kill go over to the Blitzcrank lane.
That time was nicer, I guess.
I mean, like, that was a good death. That was actually a good death. Reckless and Crowny had been beating on the mid lane tower for the longest time, and taking that mid lane tier 1 is huge.
Yeah.
The more you deprive Barca right here of vision, the better it is for that Xin Zhao and the Ahri to make plays through the walls on the side of the mid lane.
And not to mention also you have 3 grubs on Lost Returners, so anytime you buy time from the side of Baus to be able to hit the tower, the grubs are going to do a lot of work on the towers.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have to apologize. I have been told that there's still some issues backstage. When I say backstage, I mean on the player side, not our stage. We are going to actually go to a break. I've been told there's still an issue resolving itself. Once we have more information that we can tell you, we will share. But for now, we apologize again. This pause hopefully won't go too much longer, and we'll go to a break and return for Game 1 of our Grand Final.
Yeah. You know, I don't really do this too often. I'll be good for real. Just watch. Yeah, hey, how you gon' feel when I take it? How you gon' feel when I take it? We about action, we don't say. We about action, we don't say. Coming for the crown, I need my fit. I don't stay in rooms that I don't fit in. She swear that I stay up on her mind like a fitted. Ain't that cap? She probably wouldn't give me time if I ain't around. Please CC me, email me. I need all formalities. I need all incentives. This money's about the only thing on mine, like my business. That's black on the type of wave I've been on. It's always got to crash like it's Windows. Need all of that and more. Give me all the go. Give me one play. I'm on 24. Kobe right in that hour. Shot wet just like showers. Tell me who got all of that power. Oh, that's me. I carry loaded team. I get that ring. I'm MVP. Know that they envy me just like cement. I'm in these streets. No opportunity. Knock at the door. I give you keys. My mama raised me selfish. I don't share. I play for keeps. And that's all game time. Know that win all mine. I'ma keep it, baby. How you gon' feel when I take it? How you gon' feel when I take it? We about actions, we don't say. We about action, we don't say. How you gon' feel when I take it? Yeah, how you gon' feel when I take it? We about action, we don't say. We about action. Tell me how you gon' feel. Yeah, when I take your spot, tell me how you gon' feel. Yeah, only thing I need is time and the rest is on chill. Yeah, tell me when I take your spot, tell me how you gon' feel. Tell me how you gon' feel. Yeah, hey, how you gon' feel when I take it? How you gon' feel when I take it? We about action, we don't say. We about action, tell me how you gon' feel.
When the shots fire, my soul at ease, yeah. If it go down, I might close the sea, yeah. Them scheme, them go to sleep, yeah. They don't wanna come war with me, yeah. Make it run, make it run, run, make it run. Make it run, make it run, run, make it run. When the shots fire, my soul at ease, yeah. If it go down, I might
Plotting on me, target on my head, oh, they thought I would find out, yeah. Gotta be joking, I ain't been 100, how do you sound now, yeah.
Oh, you better focus, I'm locked and loaded, this ain't a game, you get forfeit. We back your trophies, better not get cold. We ain't starving. The other team was dinner, now they garbage. We mobbing, y'all really goofy. That ain't not a problem. I'm cautious. I've been on these snakes, just a garden. We novice. Operations down in my apartment. They blocking. OG with the K, ain't no stopping. Better not let me out the shade. They catch these problems. You can keep the rings with you want the crowd. You can keep the rings with you want the crowd. When the shots fire, my soul at ease, yeah. If I go down, I might cause a scene, yeah. Them scheme, them go to sleep, yeah. They don't wanna come war with me, yeah. When the shots fire, my soul at ease, yeah. If I go down, I might cause a scene, yeah. Them scheme, them go to sleep, yeah. They don't wanna come war with me, yeah. Make it run, Ricky, run, run, Ricky, run. Make it run, Ricky, run, run, Ricky, run. Make it run, Ricky, run, run, Ricky, run. Make it run, Ricky, run, run, Ricky, run.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the EMEA Masters Finals with Trouble, Aragon, and myself. We apologise for the delay. There have been some tech issues with the players on their side. We believe it's now all fixed. And we are back into game. This delay, hopefully, as Blue Buff just gets yoinked in, won't set off the players too far, as we know.
That's the extent of it.
Yeah, well, I mean, we are going to start with Herald, and I'll give you an update after that. Remember, Lost Toners are in a lead as we start off a fight. Chocolate has just flashed away. Nemesis is going to ulti away, and there's going to be followed up with the Hero's entrance. They're all in this Ari, but they can't kill him yet. Ooh. Nemesis does good damage on the way, and they've dove deep for this as Thega takes a double turret shot, and the convergence from Lost Toners now becomes dangerous with a feast from Baus, and Barca are just cornered and left isolated now. They've sent everything for Nemesis. They gave him the Baus treatment, and it bites right back. For LR, they've just picked up not 4, but all 5 of the Spanish squad. It's a full-blown ace and a massive lead for game 1.
Do I have time to change my prediction earlier?
Are you feeling the 3-0 Russell Lost Returners yet?
Kinda, man.
Yeah, but that fight was so cool because they dumped everything. Barca dumped everything onto shutting down Nemesis right there, even diving the tower with the Vi super, super deep. And then it's just on Crowny to clean up the entire rest of the fight. Zeri is so good at cleaning fights when unfocused, and that's exactly what he does.
I'm just left wanting more, man. Like, Chocolate has not had one good position in a single neutral objective to set up Barca for success. And we were casting his Talia the other day, Hysterics. Like, his Talia is really good at setting up his team at objectives, pinching people, forcing flashes. And right now, it's just Chocolate finding himself in really awkward positioning. Same thing as the previous one where he lost his flash.
Yeah, it's that specific bush, the banana bush, engaging from there. That's what Chocolate keeps messing up. Around there, the snap engage can be so fast because the bush is so powerful there. And then everything is used. Every single thing is used. Crowny can just free hit. Baus is just wailing away at them, and there's nothing to stop him here.
I feel like they ultra focused on the Ari, who's super sleepier, and if you don't get her on the first dash or the second dash, I think this is where you give up and you can turn around. That didn't happen. Chocolate had already committed his flash and ends up falling to Valia 1v1, right? So I feel like so far, Barca, they haven't really used any of the strategies we talked about in the early game. There's no mid-support synergy. They don't set up for these objectives very well. 3 first Dragons already gone minute 17 to Los Ratones. That's going to be a super early soul.
Yeah, diving very, very far forward. It's really, really hard for the Xayah to even take part. They're not playing off of the hooks, where I still feel like 1 hook equals 1 kill, except for how tanky Valia is now.
Shortest bop ever.
Yeah, I know. It's going to be followed by an even longer ride, though. But they're going to get the knock-up on the way through. You see that Valia does it so that he can get some safety. Crescent Guard will follow that as Hook goes into a minion. White-in, unfortunately, not able to converge. And with half the damage on the turret there as well, 4K gold lead. Crowny is left alone because Barca grouped up in a massive unit, so more damage done to mid.
That was also really cool. He used the Reef Turtle to get vision in that bush and knock anyone up that's in there to make sure that it's safe to push for the tower. Has to burn his ult, but it's fine. There's no neutral objectives currently under play, so that Zinza ult will come back up.
And I really feel like this Blitzcrank value is getting lower and lower and lower. The tankiness of the Zin, the raw HP from the Bruiser items, and now Baus is even building tanky items. He loves these components. We always see him sitting in Chain Vest and stuff like this. It's going to get harder and harder to actually make plays off of the hooks that you land versus these tanky champions.
That's Reckless. He's going to stop this recall here. Make it annoying for White-in. Maybe even get a kill because Nemesis is ultied. Orb of Deception out. Waiting for the charm. That will connect. And Baus, it's a free stack, isn't it? He just autos for it because he didn't have Feast up and available. But it's going from bad to worse. And you know, you got to feel for Barca a bit. They obviously had some tech issues. They came out of the pause into a big fight. And you know, momentum's not really a meme. It's very real for teams when they have to put themselves back into the driving seat. And obviously, you're saying Trouble. In the early game, at the very least, the first 10 minutes, there wasn't much driving from the mid-jungle duo from this comp. So it has definitely gone from bad to worse, to say the least.
Not only that's the case, but also Aragon said it very well. Blitzcrank loses his value. Vi becomes a non-factor when she falls behind. She's literally just one ult. And I feel like at this point, even if you were to dive a Zeri all the way in the backline, which we called very defenseless earlier on, right now you've got such a beef line around you with the Zin, the Cho'Gath, Lulu offering even more protection. That is just so difficult for Thega to just choose a target and say go.
Yeah, and now I'm looking forward into the future. It's such an early soul, right? It's going to be about 21 minutes. And Thega there was looking for a flank, but that gets scouted out by a blue trinket as well. So prepping for these team fights, looking for picks on side lane with the Vi's very common.
Check a lot of trouble. No a rupture up and an instant beat. Baus looking for his solo kill. It's a shove back though, but Baus with flash will not commit. Thanks to Phase Rush, Chocolate is alive and safe.
Whew, his flash just came off of cooldown as well. That would have been so disastrous. 10 seconds for that attack and you lose your Talia, you lose your setup.
Yeah, good discipline from Baus too. He could have flashed the knock and then got a kill, but maybe he values holding the flash
TP behind
for the
him.
dragon.
Okay, well, maybe now he has to actually use it.
Yeah.
Rare to see him lose a cannon, or at least want to, but as he runs for his life, he gets his Swifties into motion, or rather Moby Boots. He wants also to be safe from this blast cone, but Wyden brings him back in. Shielded Durand and 4 members on top means Baus will eventually die. While Atakan is getting started up, I mean, you saw the Vi, you know this is free, so again, good death.
Another good death right here. Picks up, what, 4, 5 members, the entire group of Barca over on the top side of the map, both sides of the map. Los Ratones just take the attack and thank you very much. Now, it will be kind of worth it for Barca if they do manage to get that mid lane tier 1, and I suppose they will because Ari just showed up on the bottom of the map and Baus is still there for another 17 seconds. So that is a pretty good push right here from Barca.
Yeah, XP is going to matter a lot too. You've got ranked ultimate on the Lulu now.
Oh, you're getting away from Seismic Shove. He went in instead of going out. There's the Crowny ult though, shocking everyone within range onto Legolas. A defensive ult as Value's already pulled out the Crescent Guard. Barca are deep in enemy jungle. They're getting sandwiched. They're getting crunched with a teleport. It becomes a disaster. Waiting to play. Baus with the one-shot. Value with the kill in the back. And White Knight with nowhere to run. Just when it looks good for Barca, Los Ratones snap them shut.
An extension into the enemy jungle, trying to find Velia here from Barca, but they just can't quite pick him up. Velia then flashes over, finishes off Chocolate, and it's another 3-for-0 play. It's just a stomp this game.
Yeah, I feel like from Barca, the commitment is just so half-hearted, right? There is no champion selection to go all in on one. I feel like there was once onto Nemesis, they overcommitted, and ever since it's been very, very scattered. And especially when you put yourself in a choke point, we can get flanked from many sides from Los Ratones when their champions have so much agency in playing that way. As Thager's gonna find Baus.
But
I don't
I think
think
Baus wins
that.
this. Ulti comes up in a second.
They're gonna
Right
pull
about
TP.
used, but they're committing teleports to Baus again. And Dragon's up in 15 seconds. You see jungle top. I've used the word disaster
this is
before.
a disaster. That's what I was thinking.
The comedic timing could not be better. And jungle just dies. Chocolate sent skyward and Baus is on the run, but he's got Reckless by his side. This is going to be a double. This is going to be trouble. And Chocolate now regretting their decision. Baus with a grin on his face, and Los Ratones know this one is in the bag.
Chocolate was laughing as well on the bottom right. I feel like they know that, you know, they're cooking up for game number 2 already. You know, they tried their hand and it just didn't work. Got beaten off by Baus twice now. This is going to be most likely a very clean Los Ratones game, which we don't usually say because our early game looks a little bit shaky, but not this time around.
Not able to one-shot the Cho'Gath, not even being able to get your ulti off on Vi there to one-shot Baus. And now you've got a Mountain Soul, Cho, and a Velia on this Xin Zhao as well. How do you kill him?
I mean, Velia is way tankier than Cho'Gath right now.
The question about the Blitzcrank's usefulness, you're definitely not getting a hook on a kill now.
Where is Reckless? He says, whoa, Michael Jackson. What was the start of that replay? As Baus just gets full dove and double ulti committal.
Yeah, I mean, nice spacing right there, but committing all these members, and then you see Reckless and Crowny were on the way. Crowny decided not to join the fight. He knew that Baus had it on his own, and then Reckless joined.
I wonder if Vi managed to get the ulti off through the silence, like before the silence or after the silence, you know, if he managed to live that long.
But he stands it up, hey.
Yeah, if he managed to get that,
Reckless
then
also had flash, you know, so.
I wonder if the kill could have been possible, but I don't think so. I think Baus just eats him alive there. And then Soul, they're going to look topside for some camps, but, you know, it's kind of copium at this point.
It is.
At least we got Grump, you know.
Well, that's nice. Get what you can at this point. For Barca, it's been a rough game one. It's been a longer game one than the time indicates, of course, but everything in the kitchen sink. Only 2 turrets picked up for Barca. Those are the only objectives. And for Velia, as he comes in, he sees that Thager's in his own jungle, but it's not his anymore. Velia wants a little piece of the pie, and 3 members spotted out in top. Mid getting pushed as well. Reckless wants something and wants to help Nemesis get it. As Baron comes up in a minute, this topside control is going to lead to another objective eventually.
Who's going to face check that jungle? You do not have a member that's tanky enough to dip into Fog of War and try to get any remnants of vision for that Baron.
They're trying to death push, but they're on a ward.
Velia has his ulti as well. You don't want him. The hook is going to do absolutely nothing. As you said, Aragon, who are you going to hook and what is it going to mean? Wave instantly cleared. Los Ratones grouped up as 5 as well. As Chocolate's ulti is going to be late because 4 members are already there. Seismic Shove does nothing because they're tanks. They've just got no damage. The Xayah can never step up. She's the one you want. to be hitting these front lines.
It's fine. Nemesis was right. Talia's trash.
Okay, well, apparently Nemesis, he's hooked in though, so Nemesis, he might
Wait,
be
this
wrong.
guy's cursed him!
I mean, at the very least, it's one hook, it's one kill, it's something for Barca, but Crowny is unleashed. Look at him in the back as Legolas has to ult immediately. White Knight, the tank, the front line is no more, and Baus is continuing to pad the stacks with 10 into his back pocket in the top left of your screen.
At this point, any fighter's good. Nemesis says that he goes in and gets caught by the Vi ultimate, but it doesn't matter.
That was on me, sorry.
Yeah, true. The cat is real. I don't think there's any way to make it here in time, let alone get into the pit with the Q. You can get body blocked and knocked away. Baus is shadowing the Baron.
He's like a shark just circling around the red pit. Thager's gonna try his luck. He's gonna fight a dinosaur.
And there's no feast there, because otherwise he's dead
4
5
seconds.
seconds. Yeah. I'm counting as well. Flash away. Legolas has no ult. Baus is going to match that, though. He's on a rampage. And all it takes is another bite. Sink your teeth in. And the meal tastes all right. Lost Retoners are playing with their food again.
Reckles just W'd him as well to give him the movement speed right there to be able to connect the feast, and Lost Ratones with 5-man buffs from Baron. They're going to push into the base for the end.
It's 25 minutes, 26 ticking over. LR, Groupers 4, and Nemesis is working down on bot, but they can go for the Nexus turrets. It's 20 seconds onto Legolas. It's our grand final, but yet again, I'm getting some deja vu. I'm getting LR's resurgence, beaten once by Barca on the lead up at 2-0. We remember, but this is not the way it was. This is not how it started. Game 1 only, but LR put up a clinical performance to open up their back-to-back return.
A dominating performance, no neutrals. 2 towers is all they took in that entire game, alongside 10 kills, of course, but what a crazy game from Lost Return, especially with the swaps early.
I'm just so disappointed from Barca. That was the duo, the mid-support, mid-jungle duo with the Talia that really broke the game open in the semifinals for them. And I feel like they miss... Is there something going on here?
No, he just smiled. He just gave me a big smile, and just nice to see you again.
They just missed so many timers on that Talia. I feel like I didn't see a single good wall in those neutral objective setups.
I agree. And I feel like, again, you know, you brought up before, Trouble, like, the power of Checkerlad was what got Barca through. Not only
there was no
in
power.
The lead up here, it was only the other day. And yeah, there was no power in this game. Artrom's alone, isolated on the desk. He's got no friends.
I'll join him, it's okay.
So, well,
just like real life.
I'm coming. I'm coming.
Join in, Trouble, join in. We're going to give it time. We're going to give time to Trouble to join us on the desk. Meanwhile, Eragon can just take a nap, rest a bit. Aesthetics can go take a nap as well. And this was a one-sided game coming in from the Reds. I'm seeing the chat. I know we are Reds, XDD, a lot of it. Welcome back. Wow, what a performance we built up. I don't want to say Eragon was right on prediction, but
I don't know, man. Do we scrap the entire like
pre-show?
Like, it's so it's so frustrating. I think there are like a lot of tweets as well out there where they're like, Los Ratones are putting everything out there for you to watch. You know exactly how they're playing, when are they playing it, how they're playing it, the picks they're playing, their communications, their timers, their deaths, their stupid deaths. You know everything. And yet you turn nameplates on, and I feel like teams that play against them just straight up choke.
To me, that's terrifying.
Checolad missed so many positionings right here. Face plants the wall. Then we've got Legolas dying with barrier flash on. And then Thager in this particular scenario also face checks the wall with the Q. I mean, these are not just... These are micro mistakes, right? These are I'm tweaking right now mistakes.
We're just getting the information for game 2. We'll talk about it as we go further on. I think early game was interesting in favor of Barca for a few minutes, but we talked about this a lot of times on the NLC. One mistake opens up a big wound you are not capable of healing when you're facing the Rats.
Absolutely.
I think Crowny was also outstanding. The Ari from Nemesis. Everybody's looking at Baus, I understand.
I'm not gonna lie.
Still.
I don't think think we saw Nemesis. We didn't even see necessarily Velia that much, but he kept picking up kills. He didn't die once on this Sinsao. I feel like the whole team played together very well as a whole. And the most important thing is that Los Ratones again played a composition with absolutely zero engage. They had zero agency in this game. It was Barca that kept throwing their bodies at them.
It's always the same.
It is.
I think Los Ratones' engage tool on champions is, hey guys, let them engage.
Rocket belt. Rocket belt is the engage tool.
That's the engage. It's the rocket belt from Baus that he plays on everything. I expect like
Look,
a rocket
I'm telling you,
belt.
man, Nemesis did nothing this game almost.
It's so shocking. We also talked about it. Everybody can carry. And when you look at Reckless, an Enchanter versus a Blitz, and you wrap up a game on 1-0-19.
Actually, this is a very scary game to play Lulu because one great wall from Talia pinches you in a corner.
Done.
Someone takes your flash, blitz rank hook, you go Vi diving into you. You've got the like. It is so difficult to play very squishy champions, and also picking the Zeri into the Vi is counterintuitive, right? You usually pick the Vi into the Zeri to be able to pin them down.
May I ask you something? Okay, you've been watching League for a long time. Okay, I played competitively. Let's not talk about that. That's the past. But I watched Reckless. He played as an AD carry, one of the greatest AD carries to ever live in League of Legends. And you know his KDA dream, like he was a KDA player.
He was a KDA queen as an AD carry.
Question, do you think he was just practicing to become the best support the world has ever seen in terms of KDA? He doesn't die.
I mean, to be fair, he's a world champ, right?
Hey,
you can't take that away from him. As a support, he's a world champ, even.
So, Trouble.
Right
with
behind
this in
Kevin,
mind,
right? He's learned a lot.
What do we do? Barca, what do we do?
I feel like you just reset. I feel like this is a mental block right now. The things that I saw, the micro mistakes particularly, you mentally reset. You play the game you've played against every single team that's gotten you this far. You play the game you played versus LR in the groups. You play for your early game. That was a fantastic early game composition they had, but the fact that they go shut down in the early, they split the map in half, that's what I meant about Velia really protects Baus. Because by splitting the map like this, you protected Baus, you protected your bot lane as well. I feel like one, you don't get invaded in the early, and two, you get really strong mid-jungle duo or really strong roaming support. And I want to see Chocolate back in action, because that wasn't the Chocolate that I saw being a demon throughout the entire tournament. I think Nemesis is angry with that statement.
He showed it.
He showed it.
Also, let's talk about this just to wrap it up. I think removing Galio from the equation, Vi as well, it's taking a pinch at the Baus champion pool. I don't think it's an issue anymore, but teams try to take those champions, those comfortable champions. You know, the Sion is there, the Gragas is there, even the Volibear is there, but at least you take a few.
I expect Gragas and Sion to be banned for the rest of the series. So technically, his two most prominent champions after those would be possibly the Jax and then the Volibear. So you've got two left. You got to pick wisely.
Maybe even the Khaled. We've seen it on finals for the NLC, so maybe that. After this game, to wrap it up, as the chat is going wild with it, XTD, we are rats. You made a prediction of 3-2, not knowing where it would land. First game, what would you say?
Change my prediction.
You can change your prediction.
Okay, I think
But this is official.
If it goes on like this, I think it's looking like a 3-0. LR are running on all cylinders, especially when you don't see them make any of those mistakes in the early game and just taking games so cleanly. Like, they didn't lose a single neutral objective, and they were just so assertive with the way they walked into those neutral objectives through that fog of war, taking flashes off of Chocolate, right? That was a fantastic display of how to play as a team when you literally have zero engage. Like, the peeling game that they played through fog of war was fantastic.
I also think Velia is a ninja, or was a ninja back in the day, because he can be silent, he can be deadly, he's always doing something, even if we don't see
Quiet
it.
force.
Yes, even if he only has one stack on a Kindred. With that in mind, let's toss it to a break before we come back for Game 2. Los Ratones leading this way like they did at Winter. Will it be back-to-back? We don't know. I'll see you soon.
I'm like a dog, I do the most to get off of my leash, yeah. I am a beast, looking for something to eat, yeah. I cannot be defeated, I can take off, I don't need a reason. Anyone to see me sweating, bleeding, I'm about to take off, yeah believe it, yeah believe it. I cannot be stopped, no, no, I cannot be stopped, no, no. I cannot be stopped, no, no, I cannot be stopped, no, no.
my best intro ever.
Yeah, not bad, hey, not bad. Just saying, I can go pro. You know it as well. I also know you can dance. You should join me next time. And yes, I feel like you've also deserved a bit of a break. You've earned it.
Thanks.
Even the biggest champ.
All that you love is a feast for the lions. What does it feel like? Hold my hand, I can be your eyes. It's fairy tale in disguise. Stars to fight, stars to fire. We'll keep the heat on high, and we'll let it simmer, let it. We'll fly the line, break the rush, turn the tide, 'cause we're big enough. We'll find a time, and steal the love. Yeah, darling, forever give it up. Yeah, darling, forever give it up. Yeah, darling, forever give it up. The boiling point as we know it is close to frozen. What a time to feel alive. We'll be by the river when the floodgates are open. I think about it all the time. Stars to fight, stars to fire. We'll keep the heat on high, and we'll let it simmer, let it. We'll fly the line, break the rush, turn the tide, 'cause we're big enough. We'll find a time, and steal the love. Yeah, darling, forever give it up. Yeah, darling, forever give it up. Yeah, darling, forever give it up. What a time to be alive. We've reached the boiling point. It's overflowing. We'll climb the gates or tear them open. We'll fly the line, break the rush, turn the tide, 'cause we're big enough. We'll find a time, and steal the love. Yeah, darling, forever give it up. 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 My body's numb, a stranger to my soul. Pain is gone and left me stone cold. Hey, you just talk for the sake of it. All I got from you are broken promises, but it don't hurt no more. I can feel no more. Love me or hate me, go. It don't hurt no more. You just let me go. I'm not coming back to you. You keep talking, I'm sick of it. The same old stories. I ain't gonna listen to this. No, no, you hurt me so bad. And drop me just like that. Now turn her back to you, 'cause it don't hurt no more. I can feel
Well, dominant game one into game two draft straight away. Start dancing, start looking towards how Barca get back into this series because game one was a stomp. Again, we mentioned there were a lot of pauses, so we apologize. Hopefully this one is a cleaner one for you as Barca are on blue side and Los Patronos on the red. Fury Syndra and this song that is in my head, rent free. Oh, Yeah.
I'm seeing Sion not banned here. White Knight could very easily take that one
B1.
away.
Yeah,
But you do have things like Kai'Sa and
Yeah.
Varus that can be really good into big tanks.
Yeah, some other power picks I'm thinking about are Trundle and Wukong. Especially if they pick Sion, then you can go Trundle on the other side, and that could be problematic. Wukong, though, specifically for LR, they love this champion. They think this
Never
champion's
mind.
super OP. Yeah,
Jokes.
there goes the Sion.
Jokes.
There goes the Sion.
Okay, so Sion ban. He said Wukong could be an option here, 2 and 3. Oh, sorry,
With
red
Lost
side.
Returner specifically.
Hmm.
But in terms of power picks that are up, I agree with Trouble. I think Varus is something you have to trade. Consider the fact that you have Jhin as an answer as well.
Yep.
I'm also looking at Azir here.
Yeah,
Because both
true too.
Chocolate and Nemesis play Azir, and they're more than willing to B1 it. So I feel like Azir could really fit more of like a slow-paced game, if you will, for the side of Barca. Try to maybe scale into the late game, and with it being open right here, could potentially be a pick.
Rumble banned away because they have no Galio into it. There's the Azir. The reason why I'm a bit cautious on this is because you're probably going to answer it with something like Hui. That's usually a Nemesis is one of his go-to answers at the very least. He'll go pick the Hui out and you just outrange and win the lane. Then you're looking at pairings like, I still think the Wukong is probably one of your better answers. Or trades, rather.
You go Hui Wukong?
Hui Wukong, I think it's playable for sure, yeah. I think it's completely fine. Just don't think there's that many other options. Velia's Viego's open. But I think you probably drop that for future games.
Pause. I saw the Aurelia. I mean, Bal's playing so much of it in solo queue. It's like AP Aurelia, AD Aurelia,
Yeah.
whatever. But
yeah.
I'm glad we're not seeing that. As you said, Wukong best jungle option, potentially. I mean, unless you take something away like a Sejuani
I feel like
from Azir.
Wukong is great here because usually they go for their engage through their jungle for the side of LR, especially if you want to slam something like a Braum for Reckless down that bot lane, which is very heavily towards their style and their kind of picks.
Viego.
But
Viego.
I'm not a big fan of Viego in general. I don't necessarily like that champion or the early game pressure that he does create. And with Azir, you could potentially go towards something like more of an AD-oriented kind of jungler. We've seen the Lee Sin coming through Thaegir as well, which you can make early game plays through.
Yeah, you can make Lee Sin plays through that. The Kha'Zix was brought out by Velia.
Whoa.
That probably won't be brought out by
No rel.
Thaegir.
No rel.
Lucian Nami lane?
That's right.
All right.
So in the past, you would go stuff like Nico into it. Sorry, rather, Nami would picked into Nico, but they're just going for it right now. Into Lucian Nami, typically you pick things like Nautilus to be able to hook in and then trade and threaten the all-in as well, because the trades are just so oppressive. And it would be good with the nature of Viego, who likes to play off of that instant burst.
I kind of really like Renata into this. I really like Renata into anything like Lucian Nami oriented, because usually Lucian likes to dash forward and Renata likes anything that likes to dash forward against her due to the nature of her ult. Jhin was the highest KDA champion for Crowny over in the NLC. He had an insane record, 30-something KDA throughout the entirety of NLC over winter and spring. So by far one of his best champions the entire year.
Yeah, I'm already looking at Lost Returnus' draft as well, and I'm looking at a lot of range with Jhin and Hui. I think they need a bit of engage and CC to set up their spells. Something like Nautilus, Alistar, Rel, these
Leona.
champions are exactly what I'm looking at. Yeah, Leona's also good, but I prefer Nautilus the most out of any of these, and I wouldn't be surprised to see some bans to set this champ up or be banned away.
Okay, well, Ornn at least taking an option from top. I mean, is that fishing for it? Is that showing anything? Or is it just the fact that White Knight, probably needs to be on something engaged, something like a frontline?
Yeah, they need some frontline. They're
Ornn.
banning away like Azir, Ornn, kind of front to back, insane scaling team fight.
I'm just kind of worried right here that your answers for engage through top lane, since Sion and Ornn have been taken out, are things like the Gnar, which is like a very conditional type of engage. White Knight really likes to gravitate towards the Gnar, and you could end up facing that into a Jax potentially as you have the R5 from the side of Los Ratones. But I'm looking at the engage options that you're getting right here for the side of for the top side of the map for Barca, and I'm thinking Sejuani could potentially be one. Things like Maokai
I
in the
think
jungle.
Maokai is the classic. I completely agree with you. That's what I was thinking too. Notice how all the engage supports are also pinched. Jarvan's gone for the immobile carries of Lost Ratonis, so your jungle pool is pinched and engage support's a little bit pinched. You go Alistar here if you want to, just to get consistent setup. If you're the side of LR, or you just take away the Leona too. Those are the two champions that you look at.
Can also go Rakan. I feel like with all the
Rakan, yeah,
setup
true.
that you've got and the long range from the side of LR, like a slippery engage, disengage support could do wonders, and Reckless really likes to gravitate towards that.
Is it hard enough engage, I guess, is the question,
It's
right?
not as hard engage as something like what I was suggesting with the Leona.
It's more than game one.
It's also not much face check, which is also a bit of a problem, I believe, between Velia and Reckless right here. These champions don't face check as well.
Yeah.
And also Rakan into Nami Lucian isn't the best.
Now you're going into most likely Volibear or Jax for the sort of bows. And Whiting has a big question mark on his side. What do you blind pick into things like the Volibear or the Jax?
Yeah, you can pick range champions into that, but that's not really bad.
Shen?
Shen is pretty good. Shen is pretty good into these champions.
If you go Wukong, you can dive the backline with that.
If you want to go towards champions that Baus has a problem with, go towards the Shen. Nice.
Okay.
But the Wukong I really like too, because it's also a denial for the future for Velia when they really value this pick.
Is he going to do it?
He's smiling. He doesn't like the Shen.
It's really hard to counterplay. He hates this champion. He calls it a demon champion because it's so lane dominant in the current meta. It wins trades versus almost anything. The traditional counters to Shen are range champions and some specific lane bullies.
Yep.
That Baus does not play. So he's going to play for scaling and try to survive the Shen lane.
He has played Jax, AP Jax, into the Shen prior, and he beat that matchup later on when Jax
But
gets
at the
scale.
start, I think he got solo
at the start, he was so suffering.
Yeah. And I think the biggest problem with the Shen matchup for Baus is that it creates so many numbers advantage plays on the other side of the map, which creates problems for players like Nemesis Crowner who want to play through, right? So I think Baus here versus this lane bully, it's going to be a big challenge. Honestly, the Shen pick alone makes me doubt their chances.
Does it?
Yeah. I think Shen is LR's kryptonite, in a way.
Okay.
Because it's Baus' kryptonite and then it's snowball effects.
It's a huge snowball
All right.
effect.
I really like what Barca have right here. I really like their front to back. I love the Shen to be able to intercept on side lane plays and skirmishes. I love the Lucian Nami because it can be extremely lane dominant. I feel like Whiting and Legolas have really been playing for those aggro lanes. Now with the help of Fager, get that Wukong to that level 6, play for the balls out of the map. Chain that in with the Shen ultimate as well, and you can have a very, very strong death ball going towards the side of LR.
Yeah, I think mid 2v2 is what I'm looking for in terms of LR as well in the early game. I think the top and bot lanes, since you picked Rakan for scaling as well in the team fights, you've got just giga scaling lanes and you're going to struggle, and the mid 2v2 is where LR are going to shine compared to the side of Barca.
Well, I mean, for Barca, if it's at least giving you a little bit more confidence of the draft, if it's giving you a little bit more options, excitement's an important word as well. And hopefully we have a series on our hand. If you missed the first game, there were a lot of pauses, unfortunately, but we got past that into a massive wipe of a team fight. After team fight, after team fight. And the game ended within 27 minutes. Los Ratones, the defending champions, move on to Rift for game number 2. Already with one in their back pocket to see if they can keep the momentum going. Or if Barca have got something else to show us. Number 1 of the LVP versus number 1 of the NLC. Let's get this underway once again as Nemesis on Hwei. EMEA Masters, that has been a good sign. A lot of range coming out, and you know, we got some fun lanes to talk about. You want to start?
I think the biggest challenge for LR in the first 5 minutes are getting Baus through the early recall and then getting the Doran's Ring TP back, which is the classic. Surviving the early lane phase versus Shen is imperative, so that he doesn't have free reign the entire game to make plays as early as possible with his ulti off cooldown. That's the big challenge, and I'm worried because Baus does not have a good track record of doing that, and it's a hard matchup.
I also really like from the side of Barca how they've gone for the electrocute Lucian right here. They're looking to take very aggressive trades into potentially even an invade into the Viego. Viego early game, not the strongest champion. You can't push him out of lane, especially if you bleed the Lucian and the Nami into the jungle with the Wukong, right? So this is what I'm looking forward to mostly. I feel like it was Velia and the early game level 1 invade that really broke the map for Barca in game number 1. So right here, more standard, full clear, top to bottom for both junglers.
Yeah, I think Wukong here is going to want a stable early game until he gets to level 6, and then he's going to have ulti and he's going to make a lot of plays. The ward early from Baus is interesting as well, because it shows him rather where Wukong's going to clear to, and that might mean he can even find some kind of proxy angle later on as he crashes waves, as Wukong's going to be clearing away, and he won't die.
It's really easy to proxy on that champion as well. Like, your wave clear early with that Sky Splitter, and the magic damage that when it hits feels so good as...
A little noise escaped me there. I mean, the barrier. I think he panicked versus the fourth shot.
He didn't panic. So this is a thing, again, this is the thing that they're doing in the LPL and the LCK. They will burn their barrier early so that they don't get out-traded. I feel like it's very important right here because Wukong is pathing towards the bot side, so is Velia on his Viego. So I feel like Whiting and Legolas making sure they have priority, they're pushing the wave down that bot lane and taking those aggressive trades is much more important than the barrier early.
I mean, Crowny now just taking a massive trade. Talking about that electrocute before, Lucian really looks great with that quick burst that Legolas shows us. As by the way, Twilight Assault just picked up, so Baus is going to have a hard time.
Yeah.
Good trade otherwise, though, from Baus getting his Q down.
Your volatile side lanes. I'd look at right now how Volibear secures this crash and then looks for a wave afterwards, and then maybe a recall for the Doran's Ring and so on the other items.
Velia's going bot.
Could be a gank. I mean, there's no reliable gank setup. You've just missed the W on Jhin.
But Legolas just walked up, trying to get the wave crashed in. Reckless gets an engage, and Whiting is isolated away from Legolas. They'll turn. The stun, though, doesn't connect from Velya, but the last shot will indeed. Deadly Flourish flashed away from. Thager is now here to help, but he's too late. First blood is over to Lost Return.
Damn, you take the nameplates off. I think that's Thager. He's usually the one ganking very early. But right here, due to the state of where the lane was, I feel like Rekkles and Crownie have been taking really great trades, actually, into Legolas and Whiting, to the point where barrier down onto the Lucian, not a lot of mana, not a lot of HP. They brought in Viego after the first clear. Legolas will dash out, and then they turn their attention onto the Nami. 0 mana, hash pre-flashed already, 4th shot held from Crownie to make sure the kill goes through.
Yeah, nice little skip of the camps from Velya there to capitalize on the frozen wave state.
Aragon, you know me. I'm the volley beggar.
Oh, yeah?
At least for me.
Drop me some info right now on that volley match.
With Spirit's Refuge, every time you use the Thundering Smash down, as Baus just gets absolutely whacked with the Q. Then you just don't have a Q for a long time. It's quite a long cooldown earlier on. You know, like other matchups where if you get Shadow Dash through and stunned where you have Q up, you actually get a refund on Q as volley bear. So you can actually use it again as it's used.
Yeah, the CC cancels.
But it's painful. The Shen matchup could be really, really crap, as it is just the best champion in top right now, as junglers are fighting it out in the meanwhile. And while I'm yapping away, Thager gets away from the Severing Bolt, but Nemesis is still here. CC flashed away from, but Velya has his flash from last fight, but where's the CC? It's now coming up. He'll find it. There's the Severing Bolt isolated again, and with Conqueror up, Velya just needs a bit more in the Q department, and he'll find that too. White Knight can't save the day, and Velya is off to the races.
Very confused. Chocolate wasn't a reset right there. It was TPing way after you're engaging onto an invade, onto the Raptors. As you know, Nemesis has pre-back, he's reset, he's TP'd back into lane, and then your mid laner is due a reset as well. I feel like that was a big whoopsie right there from Thager.
Yeah, I think he was just looking for some deep vision on the respawn camp just to track the jungle clear a little bit as the 3 camp came out. But still, really nice punish. Find the pick onto the Wukong. And the chain CC from the Hui as well as the Viego was pretty nice.
Right, just barring there again. Again, just staying trouble, blocking a lot of the trade damage that's come through. And Legolas and White are trading very aggressively in this lane. As best they can do is Elara just looking for the wave to push in.
I was about to say, both of these junglers are going Trinity Force, right? Trinity Force is a very expensive item. And usually, after the nerfs on Blade of the Rinky, you don't really see Viego playing towards Blade of the Rinky. They mostly play like the Kanavi build, which is Trinity Force into the Collector. Right here with... Remind me Recurve Ball, thank you very much. It seems like he is going for the Blade of the Rinking angle.
I usually do see Triforce Collector as well. That's usually the only build I ever see on Viego right now. I'm not up to date with the...
Thanks, Kanavi.
This champion I feel like can build so many different items that it's almost
Kraken Slayer as well.
Yeah.
That's different, isn't it?
Level 6.
Ulti, Chocolate has found his mark. Onto Nemesis, Spiraling Despair as well. He stood there, he's taken it. Spiraling Despair gets a good trade, but Velya, once again, flash for flash. The Chocolate with Lethal Tempo gets the Soldier out in the meantime, and the Stand United is coming down. Velya pays respect, while bot lane, there's a trade there again. The blood is starting to roll and fall down the sewers as White Knight is now mid.
Wukong's ganking bot side as well. Thager was looking, but doesn't find anything until Rekkles, who has his W. Now the question is, what can Baus get on response to that Shen? But what happened here?
This is what I said. Bot got a trade kill.
Yeah, so take a look at this. That the 4th shot into the barrier gets eaten, and Crownie must die here. So he does pick up a kill onto Legolas to start with, and then Crownie does not give over the kill or the assist to
Wide in.
Very nice play from Crownie to deny the gold.
Big brain.
It does accelerate the mandate, which could be an argument is not so hot for the side of Lost Returners.
Or what would you prefer, mandate or Trinity Force?
Well, I mean, you'd always prefer the Trinity Force on the Wukong, right? But
yeah.
That's the bright side.
Legolas, really good Relentless Pursuit just in time as well. Gets out of range of Crownie.
I feel like right here, Crownie and Rekkles have been playing that 2v2 fantastically well. Every single time Legolas dashes into our trade, you see Rekkles throwing his W in, they get the heal through, and with the help of the Guardian as well, I feel like the sustain is great. Yep. And Jhin is the kind of champion that's kind of like Misfortune. He's a stat checker. He has deep AD levels, AD damage deep into his early levels, so he can actually out-trade towards things like the Lucian Nami.
Yep. I think the big thing is like also his CC and the gang setup is really, really good. And they're playing towards that down in bot side really well. Just to highlight top lane, the big dynamic with Shen is that when he has no ulti, you can do whatever you like. You want to push him in, you can freeze, you can do absolutely anything like this. What I really like about what White Knight
like a Barbie girl.
Yeah. What I really liked about what White Knight did was...
That reference to Aragon was just like...
completely went over my head, by the way. I just said, yeah,
Have you not seen the movie?
No, I haven't.
Good movie.
No, it's kind of...
Is it good?
We can play.
Oh, yeah.
Change her outfits.
I don't know. I'm sorry that I laughed at you, maybe. I was like the movie. I like.
It also went over
really good in that movie.
But Where was I going with this?
I'm really sorry, man. That on me. I'm sorry.
I can brush my hair.
Oh, I remember. I was
There you go. That was the reference. Thank you.
Yeah, I just wasn't going to sing the rest of the song because I realized it probably didn't.
The Shen, it has a quite a long cooldown.
Yeah,
I can't remember if it's 160 or 180 second cooldown. It's really long. So
Bloody
right
long.
now is the window to go.
Wait, Nemesis again. Bop though. His jungler's here this time. Thaker's here to cover. Nemesis is going to get whacked around for a little bit longer. With the Spiraling Spear hit onto a clone, he has no chance. Bit of damage on the way out to Chocolate, and that's 1-2 now in the pocket for the mid laner.
Big for Barca. That's exactly what we're looking forward. Hold up.
As we're doing a 2v2 with the quickness out, the tidal wave as well. Crowny's going to barrier first, but Legolas running out of mana. Deadly Forest as Crowny now opens up with the curtain call. He will not find them all because Thaker is walking into range. All Crowny can do is delay the inevitable. Thaker's going to get over the wall. He wants to dash and take the kill and at least set it up for Legolas with the relentless pursuit. No, doesn't find his way forward. It's a bonk on the making. And Thaker's just going to auto him instead.
A gank bot works now, and in mid lane you also have to play with the shuffle onto the immobile control mage. A classic win con for the Azir. It's just winning plays across the map for Barca right now, with not much else to show for Lost Returners.
I feel like that was a little bit also disrespectful from Lost Returners. You knew that the Wukong was around the both side of the map because you were taking the Void Grubs on the top side with Velia and Baus, and then you had already seen the Wukong commit over in the mid lane, and he dips into Fog of War, and then Reckless and Crowny walk a little bit too far into this tri-bush as well. You see how the trades with the Lucian and the Jhin are going because you have chosen to go for the Electrocute. You want to take small trades. You burst and then you back out. But because of how slippery both the Fleet Footwork Jhin is and the Rakan, they can elongate all those trades, which just turns into a winning lane for the Jhin Rakan.
As you said, Barca are getting winning plays. Chocolate now in a really good position with a gold lead above Nemesis, but on this Azir as well, a real cornerstone of this comp. Does feel like Barca have a lot more to work with already in this early game. Now Thaker's going deep. He's getting a bit of vision control because Dragon is spawning in 150, but LR are just making sure they don't lose out to River too much.
You can see Baus pushing in the Shen, so the Shen ult away is going to be very punishing. He's going to miss a lot of waves for that. My biggest concern is the dive for Barca is so good onto the flashless carries. Granted, Crowny did just get flashed now, but the Hui might have an issue versus this dive.
Yeah, and as you said, that the Azir flash just came out from Chocolate as well, so the playmaking ability for the side of Barca is kind of big. They also bleeded into the jungle to get some deeper vision behind enemy lines for the next dragon that's going to be spawning in about 120. And so far, so good. The Shen's going to take his first reset as well. We're going to have first items slowly but surely being completed all across the board.
Yeah, Nash's Tooth already as well. Triforce mid-jungle, very, very strong for Barca. This is such a huge spike for Azir. He's going to pump out so much DPS in this upcoming fight. And if I'm Lost Returners here, I'm looking to cross-map as much as I can. And that's exactly what they're going to do. They're looking topside potentially for these respawn camps, but the ward is up on the topside camps, so they're going to be spotted out. Now, the question is, will Barca contest? Volibear does have push. Shen has a choice now. Does he drop the wave up topside and move to skirmish?
Well, let's see. Stun up, Severing Bolt. Thaker in so much trouble. But the Gromp helps him out, and he gets a level. Also gets out with his clone. Baus now in the way too, and Thaker just paying attention because he wants his wolves back. He wants his camps, and a cheeky smite still would be great, but Thaker doesn't have it. Veli's going to use it first, take it away, and Baus knows. He has full pro up here.
I feel like that's some fantastic pressure right here because they can burn the Shen ult with things like this. So you enter the jungle, you kind of threaten the Wukong, you could get the Shen ult off of him. You threaten a bot lane dive, you could get the Shen ult out of it. I really like the pressure that Elara put it on because no Shen ult means that White Knight's going to have to sacrifice a lot of wave stop if he wants to join the fight to come.
He's already down to 2 plates on top side. Nice sidestep, by the way, by Legolas there on that dive. Really good sidestep onto the W. And
Baus is an enemy base.
Yeah, he is. He's really making it hard right now. If Shen does ult away, he's going to lose his tower.
Oh, hey, okay.
There goes Reckless.
Bye, Reckless.
Okay.
Thaker just took a freebie, and now Crowny is isolated. TP needs to cover him. Tidal wave out first, though, as Legolas, the one tanking up. Now, Crowny has flashed and barried and gotten away, but he's got a curtain call that he's going to open up, and with Baus in the way with a Sky Splitter, Whiting's in a lot of trouble. Bullet number 4 will fly and hit Thaker as the Cyclone disengaged, but Baus has gone a bit deep. He ulted in and regrets it immediately. Teleport also going to be burned. Barca have 4 members on the way, and Velia cannot save that play.
Baus uses the tempo he gets from proxying to TP bot and try to make a play, but the Shenel is there once he fully commits, and it's the numbers advantage. It's a 5v3.
Oof. Boy, Shadow Dash was close to connecting for LR. Thinking about how to approach this dragon. They don't want to give away number 2, but the pinch is good. Chocolate is better. Reckless gets out, disengaged on the left while Velia isolated on the right. Spiraling Spear into Thager, and they're all so low, but a Flash Shadow Dash brings the fight back into Barca's favor. Nemesis might be out for now, but Velia just got a reset. An Aqua Prison, another ulti. Chocolate up next, Severing Bolt. How in God's name was that so close? Barca getting away with their lives, but only 2 of them as Reckless and Nemesis are taking the last bit. Severing Bolt again, a flower in the way to mark the death. We look at Crownie because Reckless is being an 80 carry again.
Velia comes in saving the play with the resets on the back end of that team fight. It looked so bad because Checolad's shuffle right there pushed Crownie into the enemy team. They had no carry, but it's all on Velia there to save it. Watch this shuffle. It looks diabolical.
But also for the side of Barca, they overcommit to the play. Fantastic. They get Crownie right here. That is great. But then there's an overcommitment from White Knight with a flash taunt onto Wei. Nemesis is going to flash the wall. And look at Legolas. He overcommits to the play, gets caught by Reckless, and then he leaves the bot side of Barca exposed to Velia getting resets.
Yeah, I think Whiten as well stepped a little bit too close to the bush. He could have hugged wall on the left towards the side of the Dragon Pit, but gets too close to the wall. The invis and Velia coming out of the bush catches him off guard.
Baus just died, I think, on live. Which is not shocking, knowing who he is, but
No.
honestly.
You're right, he did.
That's
okay. Baus is dead.
50 seconds till Herald as well, and Shen's going to be able to queue the tower.
But he does have Moby Boots in 2 more stacks, so he will at least be there. LR getting vision control, that's going to help out as well. Thager, I'm going to face check, but it's onto the 80 carry instead. They've found themselves Legolas. He walked in because he was confident his jungler was by his side, but Thager takes the 4th shot. There's a little bit more in LR that they're looking for. Velia, he's got a stolen soul. He's looking for yet another. It's reset after reset. It's Velia's time again. And this jungler, this LR pickup is continuing to prove his worth.
And Barca, just like last game, they underestimate the power of the banana bush.
He walked in, he now has to ulti. Reckless is there for the engage. They wanted to walk towards Nemesis, and while he might get out, can you say the same about Wyden? Under turret, as LR no, it's a breeze from dying. It's another easy kill. LR putting Spain to shame.
Nah, Barca, this in game number 2 as well. Again, overcommitting to plays. Legolas has no business face checking that bush. I know you know that your jungler is around, but you have absolutely no vision. And of course, with Herald coming up, of course they are going to be around the neutral objective to set up for themselves. Velia is an absolute monster this series. And in this particular game, 6-1-4. Having the Kraken Slayer, a lot more consistent damage and heavy hitting coming through from the Viego.
Velia Viego is such a classic. Look at this bush control. So important for LR to play around, to find that snap engage, base checking into it, finding the reset, and then chaining that towards topside as Crownie CCs them to set it up. Whiten's, I believe, is going to fall. Thager's going to fall. Everyone gets chased down here. And it's just more and more resets.
And I feel like you saw Thager in the beginning. He was sort of...
Oh no.
Oh,
it's happening
Thager's
again.
dead again.
Now, what were you going to say about Thager?
In that replay, he was actually respecting the fact that they had no vision in that banana bush, but like Legolas just sprinted at it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just been a disaster. They were winning so hard at the start of the game.
Exactly. Yeah. How?
Like, it felt like the Shen was just going to win them the game off of the bot side play, but off of one bad team fight now.
But isn't that the same as last game? The lanes were, you know, like Legolas found a lot in the lane. And yes, it was less so, as Baus is just going to walk away from Chocolate at lethal tempo. But White Knight last game, they got a couple of kills on Baus. Like, they were in a decent state, Barca. And then it was a couple of mistakes through these lanes, either around neutrals or these big fights, that just set the game into a downward spiral. And yes, you know, like, Barca are making mistakes, but LR are just so good individually at pulling them out. This skill cap, this skill ceiling, so hard to be reached. When not only you look at the names, but you look at how well they're playing consistently in these high-pressure moments.
Yeah, and now looking forward, I think in the mid-game, they've got to really play towards Nemesis here on the side lane, where they have him on an immobile control mage, making sure he can actually push up and farm. That's going to be really, really important. Whilst they leave Baus on his island, I do wonder how an AP Volibear matches into the Azir. That is a question I have, because I don't think it's going to be good.
The one thing that I do like, though, that Barca have going on for themselves, rapid fire cannon completed for Legolas right here. This is the ruler way. You pretty much put a electrocute Lucian over in the mid lane. Whoever steps up with the buffs from Nami, the electrocute buff as well, you cannot chunk people down to half HP. Let's see if Legolas is actually going to use that to their advantage, because they're definitely going to need it if they want to go and contest for the next dragon in 30 seconds.
With that dragon as well, we make number 3, where Barca were able to get the last one, but it cost them so dearly. Came so close, walking out of line.
Brownies.
Which makes sense. Culling's going to come out, though, and that respect going to be half and divided. A lot of damage that comes out, and as you said, Troubled Dragons in 15. Velia hovering over by the wing. He's strong enough maybe to do it himself, but Crowning will just have to be an ult bot here as teleport for the defensive play. Baus has joined. Stun up, Deadly Flourish. It's onto a clone.
Gotta make sure to play around this Shen ulti. The Shen ulti is really, really crucial. If they try to play for a reset and Shen ult comes down to deny it, that could be problematic. Herald plays down to provide a distraction to move into the Dragon.
Yeah, it's going to be really difficult for Barca to find their way in right here, since they have absolutely no way of
It's going to be gone
face-picking.
because Velia's just soloing it. So Herald's going to get a charge. Turret almost gone. Velia does a lot of damage with Kraken Titanic.
He can't walk in.
And he could have done it by himself. Crowning's going to make it a little bit quicker. There goes the Dragon. There's the extra stats. Barca are looking for offshoots of the fight, but there are none.
Back in my day, that was a Master Yi. Now it's
yeah.
called a Viego.
Very true. Oh, Root. Oh, and engaged. Spiraling Despair. And I think Legolas is going to regret stepping up to the wave. Crowning on the mark today. As the last shot doesn't need to connect, it zones them off. Here's Velia once again in between it all. And yes, Baus is going to die. Teleport to cover from Nemesis, but mid in a turret is now under fire.
They could dive him too. They have Wukong ult.
They do. Nemesis, will he regret it is the question. Cyclone flash away, but Nemesis has one of his own. Stand United under turret, but is there enough damage to fear?
Oh my God!
White Knight is going to be a trade. It's a big shutdown as Thega gets out, but mid in a turret goes down in the process.
Right at the end of that play, I don't think Shen, White Knight here, had the Titanic Hydra active. It was on cooldown still, so the burst wasn't there to finish off Wei, which provides Nemesis that trade back kill. Super nice clean play from Nemesis, although very scary on that dive.
And a Chocolate then tempo roam towards the top side of the map, taking that tower down. Get as much funnel, as much gold as you can onto this Azir, onto the carries. Because so far, I feel like it is on the top side of the map to try and bait that game out. That's a 4,000 gold lead for LR right here. And they're trying slowly but surely to claw this back up. Now, the whole Lucian mid lane that we're talking about, it's very difficult to do without a tower behind you, because you E forward, suddenly you've got a Viego or a Rakan, a Volibear jumping at you. So the vision to do that is going to have to be impeccable from Barca.
I completely agree. Also, I think the way that Lost Returners are playing around the mid-wave in terms of their range, Jin Hui range is just insane. It's so much range and so much pick with the Jin snares and the ultis as well, that it's super hard for either Chocolate or Legolas to walk up to this wave. You want the Lucian to be able to dash in, like Trouble's saying, but you just can't because you're punished instantly from the range.
As we talked about in draft as well, I mean, we're really big on the Shen, but now the fact that that hasn't pulled off, now the fact that White Knight hasn't been able to facilitate this ulti is going to pause my point. Yeah, Velia looking, Thega at least here, the cover with White in. Baus is on the way down, by the way, and he sprints down.
I know that I don't have a teleshare in my hands, but if you look at the line of vision that LR have, hugging the curves right behind that Dragon Pit, it's fantastic to have vision everywhere where Barca can come from.
Scared every time Legolas steps up. He's been caught out a couple of times so far. Again, you talked about the range. It's so easy to pull it off. Thega now caught himself, and he's trying to edge into this bush as Baus has joined in as well. 5 versus 4 for now. A potential engage. Chocolate finds one on Nemesis with Acro Prison. It's a good engage. It's a successful one. The Stand United brings down the Shen, and now the White Knight's here. Numbers advantage for the Otacon to start.
They could play this potentially with the resets from Velia, but Velia's getting chunked on the entrance. Look at Reckless on the flank. Potentially.
Otacon will slow them down. Otacon will do damage. Crowning is trying to buy his time. Meanwhile, for Barca, the way back into the game is here. Reckless engage. Doesn't connect, but he finds a quickness and a charm eventually. The curtain call doing it in the back line as well as Baus jumps in against 4 people. Ultis eventually takes the chomp and heals out. Gets a stun down, but Barca have done enough, it seems. With the Cyclone re-engaged, Crowning shuts me up and takes the rest of the meat. Finally, they all fall, and Lost Returners are looking as strong as they did last time with 4 for Crowning.
Crowning with his best champion of 2025. 4 versus 5. Guess what? 4 is his favorite number.
They managed to find the play. I don't know how Baus lived for that long on the Volibear at the back end there, but they managed to pull off the 4 versus 5 with the resets from Velia as well. I was really worried about the fact that they had numbers disadvantage. I was really worried about Baus diving in the backline, but take a look at this. Nemesis dies on the start of it.
Yeah, that was a fantastic pick right here. I don't think the Shen ult was needed, but they were worried about LR re-engaging, right? I think where the mistake happens right here is that when Reckless whiffs the engage, White Knight focuses on keeping Velia out. What should have happened here is that the the taunt from the Shen should have been committed on the Volibear, because once the Volibear gets all of this AoE damage onto the backline, he chunks everyone down so hard.
Plus 513. That healing was mental at the end of
I
it.
mean,
I don't know how he lived
that's
at the
why
end.
he should have broken
He was
that
1
champion.
versus 4, and he just, or 1 versus 3.
Because he got first W, Frenzied Maul, and the second one, like...
Crazy stuff.
It's so silly.
broken on low health, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. I mean, that extra time, that kill trade, and...
Get Spirit Visits as well.
Yeah, I mean, that adds up. And for LR, this skill diff is coming in again. I remember when we were here last time around in winter, talking about Izzy Japoncore versus LR, we were talking about the same thing. They step up when it matters, and it's such an overused phrase, but it's happening again. Now Nemesis wants to curse it for a little bit. Thager's going to find him. Cyclone's good. Spiraling Despair in the interim, but it means nothing. That's a big pick, and Barca need big picks in this game to stay in this series, to stay where they are. But with the curtain call opening up again, every time I say something good, there's a response. Whiting was not covered. He's one shot, and Baus is running. He's coming from behind. Look at where Baus is. Look at where Baus is. They've got a ping on him.
They have Shen'll, though. They have Shen'll, and Shen has push. He could look for an ulti onto the pick that Lost Returners make.
Flourish. They're still looking for the fight. I'm worried. Again, for Barca, how much can they find? They want the mid turret. They want the play. All it takes is another pick, and then finally they can stem the bleeding. They can look for the dragon. They're heading exactly towards that now for Barca. The long train running down this river. Whiten is healing up slowly.
Jin is isolated towards the top side of the map. Can Barca find him out, isolate him, and take him? They're looking as they're bouncing back and forth. They see that Jin is in the mid lane tower.
Lost Returners, they just lost top lane tower. Shen can look for an engage now. Lost Returners aren't on a timer anymore because there's no tier 3 tower threat, and Barca are the ones that have to back up.
Auto attack, and Crown caught out, stand united, and Crowny's going to drop at the start. Whiten isolated by Baus, but it's a messy fight. Thager as well, spiraling despair, but Velvia is getting resets again. Chocolate, he's isolated because everyone else is dead, and it's only White Knight left standing. Every time we get this fight, LR are getting resets to their jungle superstar.
And they play the 4 versus 5 for long enough so that Nemesis can come in and help in the team fight afterwards. Baus finds the backline dive, but I think on the other end, Jin got engaged on.
And what were we talking about early? Why does LR come back? Why are they the favorites? Because they're a multi-man threat. They literally killed Jin. At the beginning, we said Crowny was isolated. He oversteps, gets shuffled back into the bubble. Reckless gets chunked, but Baus chases out Whiting. Velya gets a very easy reset onto the Wukong. Then Legolas gets chased away by a bear. And while they were focusing, the guy who got a quadra kill, 3 more just sprung up to carry.
I think something we have to mention is that White Knight on this Shen keeps picking up all the shutdowns. There was a shutdown on top side up on that dive, getting 900 gold here.
He got 91 damage.
He got 800 gold in this team fight, and look at the numbers he's pumping out. It's like 390. It's just not ideal to get all the kills and shutdowns on Shen.
It is important to mention the shutdowns and the gold that Barca are trying to ring back into this game, but you're right, not on the most crucial members, and these fights are still looking one-sided once Velya gets his first kill, once there is a first kill to enhance his soul. 5k is the lead. Dragon was taken. Baron is now up. And it does feel like Barca are way too far back in the map right now to contest this. However, Baron hasn't really started off, and it's not the quickest Baron when you look at it.
Yeah, Barca, they've got a... The onus is on them to make a play right now. They're getting pushed in down in bot side.
Viego items?
I mean, yeah, that is true. But
sorry, Aragon.
I guess without a full-blown 80 carry for DPS, is LR haven't started regardless. I'll be curious about when it does.
Yeah. As the thing is, though, LR have a ton of wave clear. And Volibear's just pushing in bot over and over and over again. True. And they're bleeding waves, Barca are. Barca are bleeding waves down in bot side, losing gold. They're trying to find an engage, and they're going to need to soon. Shen has to hold this wave and hold the tower.
I feel like what Barca are really stalling for is...
Oh, spiraling spare on a clone.
That's the clone,
nice
okay.
catch.
So what they're really trying to do here is get third item on the Azir. I feel like a third item onto the Wukong. Once they do that, I feel they're going to be more on quote-unquote even ground. And I feel like Azir is super, super close on completing the third item, which is most likely going to be a Void Star from his side. They need to slow down, but the most important part is that they've been put into the same position.
It's a pick.
Look at the range.
Flourish. It's the range, but Culling is going to force him away. But meanwhile, while Legolas wanted to save his support, he might be sacrificing his own life. Severing Bolt again. The last shot almost. White in Legolas, both together, the duo running away. Velya needs a simple reset, a simple kill. Reckless gets vision, and White in is kaput. He's down, stuck mid-air, but he's got a reset, and that's all that matters. LR running it through mid in their game 2 in their hands. They hold victory at a whim.
W into R, finds the kill from Velia on the flank, and now they can potentially look towards this Nash. Going to start up as the Azir turn into the Viego and DPS it down. In the meantime, Baus is proxying between tier 3 and tier 4 tower. Sorry, tier 2 and tier 3 tower. And
Spare on a clone.
What a nice play.
Baron for LR. Soul point for LR. Everything so far LR's way. Barca seem to be recovering. Suddenly more carries spring up from the side of LR to shut them down. Thager thought it was his jungle. Big mistake.
Yeah, this is going to be standing
Oh, they
hard
have
at
to
the very
burn
least.
Channel as well.
Yeah. At this point in the game, I mean...
There goes the dive Wincon.
Yeah.
Right, with the Shen ulti and the Wukong engage, but at this point, are you really playing for that? I feel like you just have to turtle, try to wave clear and stall for item spikes, Void Staff, Death Cap on the Azir.
Dive time. Reckless ulti.
Feels like every time Legolas dashes forward, they're punishing with the range. We saw that in mid lane as well.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know how this Azir gets Death Cap as well as a Void Staff. I mean, he's struggling to get that Void Staff right now.
He is tricky. He is
but to
bargaining
get to the
right
Death Cap, which is so expensive, you'd have to get a bunch of shutdowns. And Veldy has been counting Immortal so far this entire series. He's been a big carry for his team. Immortal, he's got 3 items, going for the GA as well, onto the Viego as a 4th item. I feel like the biggest problem out here for Barca is that they are playing as 4, waiting for that channel to come through. But when you're face checking as 4, you're running into the threat of running into 5 people from the side of LR, and them grunting, getting some vision into their own territory, their own jungle, has been so difficult the entire game.
You know, in hindsight, they can't really stall for their items either, can they? 1 minute till Soul, Mounted Soul again for LR. On this front line, and Thager's trying to take vision, trying to take control of bot side.
Oh, God, it's happening again, though.
There it
This
goes.
time, Nemesis won't hit a clone. He'll hit the real deal. White Knight forces a flash away, and Velia just thinks about how he can get back in. The Heartbreaker and Crowny hitting his shots. It's a done deal. We came in today thinking about how Barca whittled away KC Blue, but LR on the other side of the bracket must have been a different matter, because this isn't close. This isn't even League of Legends anymore. This is a funeral, and there's only one team attending.
Big laughs on the faces of LR as well, as they know this was an easy game to begin with.
Yeah, they don't even need the soul. They just turn the fight on the face check.
Classic.
As Barca tried to get in there, but what a stomp. What an absolute roll.
A stomp in this game, a stomp in game 1. Match point, and LR on the brink of repeating yet another grand finals, and really starting that conversation that we've been talking about today for the golden road, for the golden path that lies ahead of them. What more do you say than there were a couple of good fights? There were actually more openings for Barca, I think, in this game than the first game, but a couple of moments that just, I don't know, not capitalized on.
I said one thing at the beginning. When Velia is on his day, you don't threaten Baus.
Sure.
If you can't threaten Baus, you can't beat LR.
I think one of the biggest things there was Nemesis got really hard focused, especially with the shuffles early on. But you just had the rest of the team step up. You had Velia on his Viego finding resets and honestly winning fights that they had no business winning, especially that lower dragon one, where it was numbers disadvantage every single time, but he found the reset every single time.
Well, I hope there's something to talk about more with Barca, because there were some good moments in that game. We can bring it out, but I'm sure that's what Archeron wants to talk about.
He's kind of lonely. You want to join him?
I could.
He's so lonely.
Maybe I will.
Maybe I'll go.
Eragon?
No, I'll go instead.
Do you want to go?
No, I'm fine by myself. If it's
Okay.
Eragon. No, I'm kidding. I love the boy.
No,
Bring it in.
I'm not coming.
Join in, Eragon. Come on, do cardio. I know you're capable of that. The play continues. This is a 2-0 in favor of the Rats. 1 game away from doing the back-to-back. And then the dream continues on the Golden Rat. The Golden Rat meaning getting all scenes completed. They need another NLC after this, and then they need another EMEA on summer to finish the Golden Rat Road. You just need to pick the microphone. I'm not even looking at you. There you go. And now we're ready to talk. How you doing, boss?
I'm doing good. What a fun game.
Wow.
Absolutely mental.
2-0. And hey, let's start talking about this. But before that, look at the rat.
Look
It's
at
getting
the rat.
closer.
It is
getting closer.
Are you moving it slowly?
Yes.
Or is it moving by itself?
I prefer
Is
that.
chat moving it?
Yeah, the chat is moving the rat.
I think they
We're
are.
from Big Ben now to the trophy, and if they win, the rat will climb it.
How are you going to make it climb? Oh, just sit it on top? Yo, I like that. I'm down.
Yeah, there you go. Look at that. It's so cute. With this in mind, okay, Eragon, let's look into the game, because you got Illusion, you got a Nami, you don't win the lane. The Shen was a counter. You said it yourself.
Yep.
I've heard it countless times.
Look,
this champion should
do
be
you,
blah,
want me,
blah, blah,
do, you want me, do, you want me, do you want to hear what my take is right now? I
Yeah.
think if they can't win with Shen, they can't win at all. To be honest, I think it's over for Barca in terms of this series. This Shen was... And you saw how effective it was on these early plays. Look at this Shen denying Baus on the volley bear right here. He dives in, they wait for the committal, Shenort comes down and saves Whiten, and it doesn't look good. There's 5 people down in bot side here, and once again, it's another numbers disadvantage play. If I'm remembering right, the game happened like a legit 2 seconds ago. They go towards Dragon, and then this is the fight where Velia becomes a demon and takes possession of absolutely everyone down in bot side here, using the fog on this fight, using all the chunks, and finds a bunch of resets to win the fight 4 versus 5.
It's the reality. Every player coming in from Los Ratones can carry a game, the support included. Shekolat, we got a little bit more of Shekolat on this fight. Tell me, Aragon, I see you're spotting something.
I wonder what Whiten does here. I think he steps over a little bit too far to the wall, disrespects what Viego could be. I think if he's just hugging to the left, next to the Dragon a little bit more,
would be different. Look at this.
Velia maybe doesn't get the reset in time.
Oh my gosh, this is...
I mean, he's just the GOAT. What a crazy play. And this happened every single fight. I mean, this is why everyone hyped up his Viego at the start of the year, right?
But you keep hyping him up as well. You hype him up on the Kindred, you hype him up on other players, even the Xin Zhao. Everything on Velia is working. And when you look into Reckless, Konami, and Nemesis, those names bring echo from what they brought in the past. And now you're adding Baus and Velia into the equation. Well, all the replays are gone, apparently. I really wanted to see the one with Baus on Volibear just going in, diving, regardless of what he wanted.
That was
just
surviving that down in bot side. That was kind of crazy. But I just want to highlight like some of the weaknesses I feel like Barca's having, some of the good things. I think Barca has had some good plays around mid. And this is they're 0-2 now, right? Backs against the wall. I think they need some kind of setup champ mid and to camp Nemesis some more, because it was where they generated a lot of their gold. Outside of that, it's completely doomed, right? I think it's really, really rough. But if they keep playing towards mid lane, their ganks towards mid were really good with the shuffles, and that's their biggest win con right now, in my opinion.
So what you're telling me is we need to shift a little bit on what is being provided right now by Barca by allowing White in to... I really enjoyed this fight. I think this is the fight that I was talking about.
This is the volley one, right? This is the one you like,
the volley for
me. It's pretty good.
The fight is not going in the way of LR. Reckless approaches from the back. Doesn't really connect with the ultimate, but look at Bao.
Yeah, this looks terrible right at the start, right? He completely whiffs. He has to run into people to charm, and they keep White Knight out of the fight by running through him and Wing away. But then Baus! He does the thing. How does he live, man? Plus 508, was it? I don't remember. What a silly champion. Dude. It's so dumb, by the way.
But versus the Shen as well, so you're getting countered on the line. It's not working regardless. I was talking about looking into the bot lane, allowing White in to probably rotate into the mid lane to try and give Shekolat a little bit more advantage. Maybe that unlocks Barca again?
Yeah, maybe. I think definitely so. Sorry, my head was like in thinking about what makes Volibear so strong right now. Just seeing Volibear play at the moment, he heals so much more than he used to. I remember reading like a patch notes about what happened to Volibear and what changed him to be so much stronger currently. Not only does people proxy more, and that also helps, but also they buffed his healing ratios on the W. And I think that just perfectly showcases how broken the W was.
That was also a speeded visage volley, so
like,
even more inclusive.
A season ago,
yeah,
maybe 2 seasons ago, they buffed the healing on the W so much because it genuinely did not heal very much at all.
So what do they need to do to come back from this? Because I know it's about sealing the deal right now for Los Ratones, the 3-0, the clean sweep.
Ooh, it's tricky.
It is.
It's really tricky. I think setup champion in mid lane, bot lane priority, a roaming champion specifically. I'm thinking about the supports that are available right now that could offer the roaming potential that is good for Whiten. Something like a Leona down in bot side with a prio 80 carry. I'm thinking Ezreal, Leona, get priority, move to mid, gank mid off cooldown. That's your best bet for Barca.
But won't you be met with Reckless Alistar?
You probably will be.
The Leona.
And you got to take that W because you can get push early in that lane. And then you roam mid and you prage. You just full send it, you prage.
Okay, well, it's 2-0 right now for Barca. So tell me, do you keep your predictions? Because Trouble decided to change prediction.
3-0 Los Ratones. XDD send it.
Let's see what the chat has to say before we toss it into a break. I want to understand your point of view so far on this series because, well... Oh, I just got some information, but...
Oh?
Okay. Keep in mind that Los Ratones, Barca is going to stay on blue side, so maybe they can get that priority pick. Just one quick message. You know what? I think this one is the one, okay? This one is the one. Bring in Irelia AP for Baus. You know what? Absolute cinema.
What is
I'm
their
down
game
for
3
that.
plan to wrap it up? Irelia?
Irelia
When was the last time we
AP.
saw that? I can't even remember the last time we saw
Probably
Irelia
on
AP.
solo queue because
Yeah,
team
that
doesn't allow
doesn't-
him to play that. You know, bring in
been a
the
while.
Kled, bring in the Irelia. Because, hey, keep in mind this one before I toss it. There's a curse for Los Ratones. It's game 3. We all know game 3. Be ready. Be careful. But I'll see you soon. Look at the rat.
He's going to climb?
Climbing.
Could he climb? Will he climb?
Hey, Law.
Yeah?
I need a bit of help with styling since I'm new here, and I was wondering if I could show you a couple of outfits.
Yeah, sure.
Amazing, thank you so much. I'll be right back. I'm a poro snack. Get it?
I don't know, man. No, not really.
I don't know, Law. It's hopeless.
No, it's gonna be fine. Here, let's have a break.
Even the biggest champ needs a break.
Yes, that's the one. Perfect.
Yeah. LEC, here we come.
Destiny on the line, knocked out 100 times. Right back up, we climb, we climb, we climb, we climb. Victory on the mind, all we know is the grind. When we at war, we fight, we fight, we fight, we fight.
Well, it's match point, and it's a pretty dominant match point at that. We have been here for, I mean, I'm looking at the watch now. It is 5-7.
Yeah.
And because of the pauses,
That's with
we're
it.
like
Had a
now
pause.
55 in. And I think 25 minutes of those were pauses. So this has been a dominant series. There's Trouble, Aragon, and myself. taking you what in could be the last game. Now, of course, with Barca, we'd love to see a little bit more from them. We got a bit more in game 2, but not enough to get them across the line or even into contention past 20 minutes. I mean, NLC is starting to run a train, starting to build this dynasty, one split at a time, apparently.
Well, there was the KC era in 2021. Maybe there's an NLC era starting to build up.
Yeah, I do think it's been a bit rough to watch. I think there's been some good things from Barca, specifically around mid lane. Outside of the Lucian in mid lane, I think the shuffles were great, but I think they got to lean on that more. More gank setups onto mid. I'm looking at, I just said it in Alan's desk, but like the Leona into roaming mid with an Ezreal pairing, I think that's like really high prior now, since there's so many supports are pinched as well.
I think Syndra's going to be left open. I think that's what Checolat is probably aiming for. One of the very strong mids. That's the one he made his debut as his best champion on the LEC back in 2021 spring as well. And with the Braum ban right here, they banned the 2 champions from Baus as well. If Syndra's not the last one, it is.
Yeah, Syndra, yeah. Yep.
Oh, well.
I'm going to go for that real quick. I think looking at priority picks...
Varus time. We have been talking about it the past couple of games, but it does feel like maybe we get some more dominated bot. Maybe
Legolas makes sense, you know?
Ah, yeah. The real archer, eh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Into this, you could go a Kalista lane, although I don't think they're going to go towards that. Has been nerfed a little bit recently. Other than that, you've got Ashe. They could go into it. Jin's gone as a typical answer.
I do like a Misfortune lane into a Varus.
Ezreal, I think, could be
up
good.
to the point where you know what's happening on the other side, right? Because Rumble has also been left open for the set of Barca, which is something that Baus hates playing into. But Rumble is so strong into Misfortune. You cannot stand still to bullet time, right? So maybe playing it a little bit more safe. You can play the core game, maybe flex it to mid, even though Nemesis does not really have it in his recent pool.
I think it's just Crowny likes this champ a lot, right? Usually what you see is, do you care about the Renata breakup and so on? But no, they just go towards the Corki. They go towards this pick because Crowny in the last series also picked in like game 2 or something. He just loves this pick. It's super strong early. You can contest the Varus and you can run out with the jungle here.
They have been pairing it with Braum a lot of the time, but that's already banned away. So curious about the next support, and especially when Engage is all up and available, really. We get a Trundle, though.
Ooh, Jax flex into the Trundle, maybe? Or do you go something that can kite the Trundle? Those are your 2 options.
I'd like to see a Lee Sin again from Faker. I need that early game action coming through from Barca. You pair it up with a really strong mid laner. Like, even right now, I'm even thinking like LeBlanc Lee Sin. Like, good old school season, whatever, 6, whatever it was, mid-jungle duo. They're going to lock in the Jax, which has pretty much eliminated most of the most played prominent champions from Baus.
I think you can go Sejuani Jax into this, or you just flex the Jax forever because you can win.
Sejuani to Trundle.
Yeah, I know it's rough. No. It's rough, but it's more for the pairing, and you can put the Jax into the Trundle if you want to, because you can win the auto attack war. It does look like this Jax is going to maintain as a flex for the rest of the draft, though. Now do you match mid into Ori? Is there a control mage up and left available? I don't think there is with Hui, Azir.
What do you think about
Syndra
Aurora? But the
Aurora
lane
loses
still,
lane pretty hard. You
Rise.
could put like some kind of artillery champion could go into that. Rise loses lane. These champs lose lane, but they're good pairings.
I mean, you can't win them all.
No, you can't win them all.
You can't win them all.
Oh my goodness. How did we forget? Usually he pairs us off with Kindred though, so...
Okay, it's not going to be the Zillion right there. It's just a bait.
Is this some kind of mind control to bait a ban?
Incoming Alistar ban from LR, most likely, right? Because we still need Engage.
Yeah.
I just want to remind everyone that this Orianna is the highest DPM for Checolat in the entire tournament. 1.3k in their first series. He was the guy who dragged the entire team with that Orianna through the finish line. So if there's a champion that he feels very, very comfortable in, that is this Orianna. Let's not forget things like Vladimir that have been floating around also for the set of Nemesis, which are really good later onto the Orianna. You can dodge shockwaves, dive the backline, etc.
Yeah, I think in isolation, the counters into Ori that are open left available is like you self-counterpick yourself, but you draft something for the 2v2, something like the Silas, I'm not sure, something like this. Or you pick artillery, and objectively, those are good champions into the Orianna. On the other hand here, I think you ban away, I'm thinking of supports, and Nautilus Poppy come to mind into the Rel that I would consider, because it's good into the Corki and the Rel. Let's see what Lost Returner's ban here. Pinching away Ambessa. This leads me to believe that it's probably a Jax top lane, because the Ambessa is pretty good into Jax.
And also, White Knight is chilling right now. He feels very confident about the Jax is most likely going to be going over on the top side of the map. But we do have Baus. He's going to have to scramble a little bit in terms of like his champion pool, right? Like we've seen the Queens, we've seen the Kleds, we have seen the mixed damage Aurelia over in solo queue as well, but his most prominent champions have either been played or taken away.
I wonder if they banned Gragas here to set up for the Jax. I think that's the last pick that's really... Oh, that's already gone. All right, getting rid of the Baus Gragas already. What else could they ban to set up this Jax now? What is left in Baus's arsenal? Any thoughts, Hysterics?
You're looking at me because I'm a bit of a degenerate as well, right?
Yeah, you are.
AP Aurelia?
I think there could be an angle. There could be an angle where they can't play Garen Zillion. Call me crazy right here, but Baus has brought out things like the Garen, and especially with the speed up from Zillion later on, speeds ups on Trundle as well, would be really fun.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Ooh.
Oh, Akali into Control Mage is a classic. How did I think of this? It's super, super good. Oh, they go Artillery.
Okay,
I like
so
the
just
Akali.
outrange.
You were looking for something that outranges Orianna. That does.
Yeah, Artillery is an objectively good answer into Orianna. You have frontline to allow yourself to just throw spells out, and that's what they're going to go for as well. I thought they were going to go for Akali because it sustains the Ori lane, and then you counter the Jackson side lane too, but Xerath lock-in it is. And it's going to be a frontline. Now, what does... It is a Jax flex if they look in the Ornn. So this Jax was sus all along.
But then what do you run into this tank? Surely you have a free matchup, right?
I mean, the good thing about this Ornn is that you have Immobile carry on the other side to engage onto the Xerath to close the gap versus the
And it's
poke.
long range as well.
Yeah, and there's the Nautilus. I think this
Is a
problematic.
coincidence about to happen right here?
Ooh.
Because it could very well be the angle.
He's smiling. I don't know if I like that.
He's playing with his hair. He's smiling.
Glad
it's
angle.
a glad angle.
With the Wrath?
I'm not the biggest fan of this, but if Baus is confident, I just think you can't kill tanks as Kled. You don't really have that much damage in your kit to kill tanks like this.
Who kills tanks in this comp? The Corki.
I mean, you have Trundle. In fairness, you have Trundle,
with
so
Shred,
maybe it's completely fine. And if he plays frontline, I think it's okay. He's going to do the same thing with proxying anyway.
I think this Ornn's going to be very miserable. The second he walks up to either face check or try and take control of a team fight, Trundle is going to press R on him and he's going to melt. You've got Corki, you've got Xerath, and you from 3 screens away, Kled diving into the backline. For Barcelona, that's a very standard front to back. The only thing that's not standard is that we don't see Jax very much often right now in the jungle. But again, it fits the profile for Thager. He wants to play for those early game fist fights. Later on, also with the combo with the Orianna ult as well, can work really well to try and catch LR in team fights.
Yeah. I think something underrated here is the board delivery of a Jax. The leap is instant.
Yeah.
So you can get a nice little board delivery engage. It's about how well can LR space the side of Barca with the Xerath poke and poke beforehand, as well as I'm a little bit concerned about the Xerath champ. I think it's really easy to be ganked and set far behind in the early game.
And then you do nothing.
Yep, then you're completely worthless, because all you offer is damage, right?
And I think for LR, it's like this spanner into the works. There's a meme about Game 3 and there's a meme about LR, like once they get comfortable in the draft, it's gum time for White
It's gum time.
And Legolas is already chewing. They're locked in and they have to be. They're on death's door for the series. They're on death's door for the finals. They made it all the way here, knocking down LFL not once but twice in Gentlemates. Then KC Blue, the famous organization. Spain's already done enough damage, but they need to get past the Rats. The infestation continues to linger around Europe. We're wondering if Spain can handle it or if they too will succumb. Welcome to Game 3. Welcome to Match Point that LR will be playing with for the next 3 if it can get there.
Wow, he's invisible.
Yeah, he just teleported as we get onto Summoner's Rift. Kled, Xerath, this is an LR draft that is just like, Jesus, take the wheel a bit.
They cooked. They cooked. I guarantee Cage was backstage saying, or rather to his chat, you will not believe what we cooked for this draft, because it is surprising. You never see Xerath, right? First strike proc, though, already. So the Mental Warfare and the Mana Flow band is already stacking.
Oh, but Legolas just got Mana Flow as well, so who's really
It's a 1-for-1 so far.
Yeah, that's right. We'll
pretty even.
Keep you updated so far. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the only Mana Flow band in the game outside of Checkerlad. So satisfying. That's dopamine, isn't it? Getting Mana Flow band up.
It is satisfying.
25 mana, you're like, oh my god.
It's the opposite of satisfying as well.
Oh my god.
When you give a first strike proc and you hear the ding, like you're just so unhappy.
True.
It was much better when it could give you like a lot more stuff, right? It would give you pots.
Oh, you're talking about
mana
Klepto.
pot. Yeah,
Klepto,
Klepto.
I mean, that
Wait,
was just
technically Klepto. They just disguised it. I don't know
Yeah,
the
but
name.
Klepto was so much more broken.
It was.
I mean,
it
you would
was.
just get your sacks of gold.
Gangplank Klepto. Oh my god. Ezreal Klepto. Good times.
Yeah. In this lane, I imagine Ori could get the push and trade a bit of HP, but like Xerath here, over time, will start outranging the Orianna a lot in terms of the trades. That's how usually these artillery lanes go.
Checkerlad's missed 2 CS, by the way. I'm just going to pull that out there because...
You do him dirty like that.
I mean, no, it's just also like... I feel like, Aragon, if we're talking about the early parts of the lane being so crucial, every CS matters. And there's a lot of pressure on him.
Knocks off the first strike there for Chocolate into Nemesis. He's not going to get the proc there.
Now, very importantly, right, this is a Comet Virus. It's going to take a lot of control of the lane, a lot of poke in the early game, and both of the junglers are going to be heading towards the bot side of the map, which means bot lane priority is going to be very pivotal, because one of the two junglers is going to have to do 180 and head top Scuttle Carb.
Both heading towards bot side. I mean, you have the most ganks up at mid and bot lane as well, right? With your Rel, with your Nautilus. The Trundle could 3-count. We saw that from Velia last game, although the wave isn't an ideal spot for that to happen. Jax could look for something similar with a counter-strike. Both junglers have a lot to work with in terms of this gank.
First line, really nice on the Crownie. Good defense from Reckless in the meantime. The crash down keeps Wyatt in from going in on this Corki, and since he has so much damage in his kit, he gets a decent trade back.
Trades going to affect the condition of the laners, but they both still have potions. The only person who's used a potion, rather, is Crownie. So not going to be too scared for this gank that's coming from Velia and Vega.
I feel like if anything, right here, Crownie and Reckless, now that their junglers are heading towards the bot side of the map, they can take more aggressive trades, having the barrier onto Crownie to try and take complete control of the bot side of the map. Trying to make sure that Velia does walk into that bot side river and doesn't have to go all the way top.
I think it's quite scary for both mid laners to walk into river here, but with Chocolate having a notable HP advantage, although Nemesis does have a potion, maybe the Orianna with her move speed is going to be more comfortable walking in. Level advantage for bot side here in terms of LR, so it looks like this crowd's going to go to the Trundle.
French line again, though. These crash downs from Reckless are great defensive maneuvers onto Crownie, but the health bar hurts. Just walks away after Barca have the wave pushed in and in a pretty good spot.
Oh, I really like this from Thager. He resets knowing that he can't walk into the bot side scuttle, grabs the double longsword and heads top in case he does find Velia or Velia tries to sneak through past that mid lane, which he's pinging right now to go towards the top side of the map. That Jax will be stronger.
Yeah, I really don't like this Kled into topside as well. You can see how much Baus is struggling to even control the lane. Potion and Cookie available for Ornn compared to the Kled, who's gonna just take so much percentage health damage because Kled has some of the highest base HP in the game.
You also get to build in lane, right?
Yeah, and you're just stuck in lane. He's gonna have to recall TP back. Thager's looking for a gank mid. Flash.
Counter-strike, flash. Oh, no! Nemesis will flash in the end. At least that's something, but that should have been first blood.
That's a whoopsie right there from Thager. Does take the flash though. One way or another, the flash is down from that Xerath. And we mentioned earlier on, you take the flash from Xerath early on, you could very easily get caught and go down. And we do know how Barca really likes to play around that mid lane. Now, what I'm looking at is not necessarily Thager, but White in. He was literally Chocolate's shadow in their semi-final series. So I'm looking to see when does that Nautilus get freed from lane to walk around mid lane.
I think Trade's gonna remount, get all his HP back, but
good music.
He's gonna really need this crash right here. The wave is being held by White Knight, so there's gonna be a
We're
gank.
looking bot because, yeah, the 2v2 is going to start off first. Flash from Whiting going into Crownie. Barrier comes out, but first blood over to Reckless as Legolas is looking for the trade. Instant flash in return. Meanwhile, Baus goes down in topside, but Reckless is taking down Legolas. The Ghost has just worn off. Reckless needs a couple more autos and a Shattering Strike, but only just Legolas on his escape route. Flash from Reckless. Look at him go. Horsey's coming in. The Steel Horse with a crash down.
Still going.
A flash Shattering Strike would do it, but Legolas is going to be safe on less than 100 HP.
Single digit. I think it was about 7 HP on Legolas.
The wave here is held really well by White Knight, by the way. The entire time this gank is being fished, White Knight is trading not only to deal damage to the Kled and get rid of the dismount, but also to provide the setup for this gank. Holding this wave is really, really good.
Oh, Chocolate all the way, bottom right and mid. He's getting jumped on by Velia right there. They're not going to force his flash yet. That was just an attempt. A really nice turnaround from Velia right here to help Nemesis push out that wave.
Did that a lot in last game. I feel like you could even say game one is right at the Arcane. Instantly onto Chocolate. Whiting's going to try and stop it. Chocolate flashes. Now both mid laners without the summoner.
I mean, the theme of this game is going to be Immobile Control Mage versus Immobile Artillery Mage. Who can get ganked the least? I think... Wait,
it's Thager. It's the jungler who's getting ganked the most.
Baus is in no man's land a little bit.
Baus is the one in trouble though. There's the counter strike. A stun up. He dismounts at a good time, but a searing charge means he goes nowhere. He flashes over the wall. Here comes the Call the Forge God for a kill, and Baus is dead now, having nothing up and available.
However, he had pushed the wave, and there's a couple of creeps that are lost
and Ornn
from White Knight on the top side of the map. The Ornn ult goes down, which means that Vela is going to head down, start chomping onto this dragon and contest it.
True.
Yeah, 140-second cooldown on that Ornn ult too, so it will just be up for grubs. So being down isn't going to be the end of the world. But if there's a fight beforehand, that could be problematic. Vel, you're going to look for a gank down in bot side.
Doesn't care about the Horde, though, because all he needs is a pillar, an instant flash, a crash down. Wide in has nowhere to go. He's got no flash, and so with that pillar, it's a free kill salvaged over to Velya. He's everywhere. This series, Velya happens to be everywhere.
Re-ganking down bot side. Popping the flash, sorry, the hook, trying to get away from White in there, and then the gank with the pillar against the wall, so there's nowhere to run.
Yeah.
He's just going to pick up that kill really, really easily. Now Dragon is going to be started up for Lost Returners.
I mean, Velya has the damage to do this, but Chocolate is nearby. Crash down from Reckless and Crowny. They want to be in the vicinity in case Chocolate comes in with a shockwave, but he won't risk it. He's got no flash either, and he's going to be first Dragon. But this was also a repeat, right? Like, while Baus adds pressure on the top, we talk about the minion wave denied, we talk about his constant pushing in. It also enables them to consistently just pick up these dragons.
Also, no one really talks about the kind of champions that Baus does that with. They're all very slippery, very annoying to deal with. Kled can mount, dismount, remount again. He's got the extra shield as well. He has the ult later on to be able to get away. So all these slippery champions take so much time to hunt down that it allows Alar the space and the time to take objectives on the other side of the map.
Yeah, Baus just picked up a color 8 minutes. I think that's going to be a
okay.
23-minute-ish, 24-minute-ish, cult completion, maybe 22 at best. So that's going to be a little bit late. Grub started up. Is Thega going to play for 2 or 1 grubs here? That's the question.
Fight. Thega doesn't have his flash available. 5 seconds on that as well. 1 grub at the very least for now. Barca want to try and find 2 and see what they can do with a bit of time held at their hands. Legolas coming in. But the team that needs everything in this series starting now. Ball. It comes off and engaged. Thega doesn't pull it in. Lost Patronus still trepidatiously tiptoeing in as Nemesis is pulled back in. A great engage, though. Reckless pulls them together, makes them kiss, and Barca trying to get that second grub will succeed, but how goes the fight? They can chomp for a bit. His AD reduced. Reckless re-engage. The jump on from the Jax. He's carrying. Thega being the hero for Spain, but as Reckless gets yet another stun, and Nemesis sits there for fun. The damage and range is enough. Nemesis just missing. Reckless will have to finish the job and pick up 3 kills in the early game. Legos will run, but not for much longer, as Lost Returners in this same spot win another big team fight.
Checkerlad's Ori ultimate doesn't quite find enough there, and there's no follow-up, whereas on the other side, Lost Returners finds the engage with Reckless's Rel crash down, interchaining that with the Xerath ulti.
I found it very, very clever what Thager did at the start. He held his Counter-Strike. We're going to see the replay as well, I'm assuming, but...
walking down
okay,
here.
it's just one Orin. It's just one Orin. He's fine for now.
Okay.
All right, let's watch the Counter-Strike right here. You'll see that Thager holds the Counter-Strike, which forces Lost Returners to do the choke point. But forcing them into the choke point creates a death ball, which then dives into Barca's backline and finds the flashless Orianna.
I quite like how the flash Q was forced out of Thega by Velya playing with Q cooldowns and kiting away. And even though they don't have an AD carry right here, the range from Nemesis and just kiting with the double buffs and double buffs Rel and the slows is enough of a threat. Runs him down. The move speed, and it's...
If he had cast that arrow 1 second more, he would have gotten Xerath right there.
1-0 and 3. Nemesis after the fight, still looking good, but as we get Thega down in yet another lane call, the Forge gone on the Baus. Ulti gonna pop, run into Thega. Here comes Velya to save the day. Enter Mini Kled. Baus wants to remount. There's a pillar out. Bellow's breath is doing damage, and Baus is playing on the edge of this one, but Velya might be able to do it himself. He's got his ulti out. That subjugation slowing down Thega and sapping away his energy. Is White Knight now with no mana to escape, and with a remount, Baus has everything up and available. It's going to turn into a dive. Searing charge, though. Makes it a 1-for-1. Shotgun out. Baus is dead. Right of the arcane. Helps out in the end. It's a massacre. It's a bloodthirsty fight, but Velya stays there to pick up the pieces.
The Triumph, I thought, maybe would keep a Baus alive right at the end there, but it isn't quite enough. Now you have Trundle hitting the tower with a grub right there, and Trundle does so much damage to the tower, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him pick up a few plates.
I just want to remind everyone, when Velya is on his day, nobody threatens Baus. He was at the right place, at the right time, to defend the dive towards Baus. And again, the slipperiness of the Kled being able to mount and remount buys so much time for the counter gank to come through.
Yeah. The percentage health damage isn't quite enough. I think Baus was spacing the brittle proc so long there, and now off of the back of those platings, that's definitely a Triforce completion for Velya. He's going to be really strong on the map right now to match the Jax.
He's also picked up, Cull's late, but also the boots are late. He's got the boots at 10.5 minutes. Well, look at this fight again. As you said, spacing was key.
Yeah, spacing away from the Bizzlebrox and now kiting them down. Look how squishy Thager is in this matchup. Even though you have the dodge zone, it's kind of fake, I think.
He got subjugated, man. Give him a break.
The problem is, though, Jack's jungle in general isn't really picked because it is so weak.
I think
Even his
Nemesis killed his top laner. Wait, 1,
You think
2.
he aimed at him?
Look. What?
I think he got the wave,
Boom.
right?
I saw that and I'm like, yeah, we don't
Maybe it
have
was
to
personal.
the game. Like,
Hold on a minute.
just thought he aimed it. Well, Nemesis showed that he can hit him.
Yeah, it's a message.
So Nemesis did pick up that kill. And I'm seeing first items coming on board as we have Dragon in 30 seconds. And this turret is not long for the world. Remember, they did pick up a grub, so LR, they have access to open up yet another big gold lead. 3,000 already at 12 minutes into the game. Whittling away.
Brownie's not going to be able to get the tower. The threat of the gank setup and the knock up there on the pillar next to him. Even though the tower was set up by Velia there to get it, not quite going to be able to take it. And then Dragon spawning in 2 seconds.
The one thing that really pops up for me is the fact that Orianna has no item yet, and you're walking into Trinity Forces, Ludens, double Trinity Force actually, and Ludens on the other side for the side of LR. I think Chocolate is going to be super weak walking into this one, so FFing it here for Barca I think is the best move.
And one thing we didn't talk about is the Nemesis chunks that are starting to come through because the Xerath does have a lead, and this is what he does, is that Nautilus tries to face check, and look at this. The big engage tool can't walk into River. Whiting gets chunked out again. Second Dragon down for LR. And because of that turret going down to Crownie too, 4,000 now just about the lead.
Can I save face for White Knight here a little bit? I imagine in the chat right now people are laughing at the Bramble Vest, but the idea here is, like I've talked to a bunch of pros in LC and stuff, is like you just buy the best amount of stats to survive the lane because you outscale anyway.
Yep.
I already see the haha Grievous Wounds versus Kled. So that's the idea, right? Early game, you just get as strong a stats as possible because you outscale anyway. We've seen it the same in C9 with, there was a Gwen matchup into set with Whipper, and that's the idea. Oh, Legolas.
Right of the arcane, Legolas taking big damage. Reckless was there, flash forced out, and Ghost. Legolas now with nothing here. It's Crownie. He just took a blast cone into a Nautilus and a Jax. Pillar might try and save his life with a depth charge. Crownie flashes away, but it's match. Thager now, he just has to survive as long as he can, but he can't. Because Velia's whacking away with his club. This guy's pulling out some magic from caveman to wizard. Velia just being fed kills again. How is this guy always so damn strong as Legolas has now walked in after he lost his double sums? Nemesis or Reckless, it doesn't matter. The kill's going over as Chocolate gets Velia. And we devolve into chaos in an 18-kill game. While LR still somehow keep getting more gold off of every passing play. Just ignore Baus. They're just going to keep running after each other. He might dismount. Call the Forge God comes in. White Knight will have some backup. There's a triple Hexgate usage here. Baus is going to remount now, but he is dead. Thager gets the kill, but top turret for Baus.
LR are like the Avengers. They all start coming through when you don't expect them. That was a great pick, like Crownie takes the blast cone into a Nautilus and a Jax, as well as one more time. They force his flash, they do kill him, but the Velia turns around, the subjugate makes this Trundle a god, and he just globs him down.
It's a nice hook onto the Valkyrie there from Whiten, but it just isn't enough. Thager's just going to die, he's going to fall. Velia is... I want you to watch this flash right here. Onto the Varus ulti, it's so nice. Here, flash away as he's chomping. He's going to get run down by Chocolate here, but make no mistake, the hero of this place was Velia. This play, rather.
Well, the hero died to Chocolate.
Yeah, well, he does die.
Which is very important, right? Because you get a big shutdown on the Orianna. We talked about how they need more items onto Chocolate, and right now Barca, they have the full control of the river.
Here he comes from South America. And Baus is coming in. No, the south of America. Pause for that. Baus is going to go into mini and probably die at the start of this fight. As he runs out, he somehow survives. Crash down, CC, stun out, and Crownie gets the kill. How did no one from LR die there? More importantly, how did Baus survive? The Chocolate at half HP. It's a poke from Nemesis that continues to hurt out, and this guy is starting to one-shot. The range again ensues.
And very importantly, Baus TP's back in to put pressure over on the tops of the map now that Barca are on reset timers because they got chunked down so hard. So Midland's getting chunked for free, Topland's getting pushed for free from Baus TPing back, and Thager cannot even access his own jungle.
Yeah, mid tower might fall here, especially with the...
Wait, hold up. He's stunned and
wait
dead.
a minute.
Nemesis is huge. Nemesis is unbelievable
wait,
right
actually, how do you miss a spell on Pillar, CC? I guess that's the idea here. The setup's really, really nice with frontline. And Baus TPing back, like you said, Trouble, and the wave clip from Titanic is...
Oh, dredge line. Velia chops and gets it anyway. Depth charge. They're getting annoyed. Barca getting annoyed because at 6k gold down, they wanted something. Now they do punish Velia a minute 20 before Dragon, but he should be up for that. And quickly, side note, South of America, South America, South of America. When I hear Kled, I think of being down in South America, like Florida or something, you know? When you hear the yeah, I think of a cowboy.
Ah.
Okay?
I had no idea where you were going with that either.
Yeah, because I'm from Australia, and for me, I don't really know geography, so apologies as this guy, he should have died.
Yeah, I think with the percentage health here, from like the Varus, from the Ornn, I expect any time Bowsy is frontlining for him to die, but he survives.
But the thing is, Orianna and Varus could not hit.
Yeah.
The pillar goes down, they cannot overextend to come out of the choke point, so there were no real damage dealers to take down Bows, as Checo is going to TP away to get out of trouble.
Nice escape.
Rite of Arcane used for that as well, but 30 seconds, no TP, and Dragon's coming up. This is the third Dragon for LR. That gold lead is still there, ladies and gentlemen, 5,000 top of your screen. It maintains distance between them and Barca, and you're thinking like 1 and a bit items. An Orianna that isn't scaling or anywhere close. Barca trying to win this fight and stop the scaling.
Yeah, sending 3 down bot side for Lost Returners means that they can move into River, get mid push, then move into River and take control first. 2 wards in the banana bush, going to be really hard to take control of, as one is used to mark a flank down in bot side, I believe. But still, face checking this is the task for Lost Returners. Can they do it? Reckless has his buffer on any CC.
Stun.
Oh,
it
man.
begins. Nemesis damage. Can Barca find anything more? Crownie's in trouble and he will be isolated and taken down. That's great. 1 kill for the Spanish rebels fighting this battle. LR, though, have sent Baus towards mid. It's only a 3rd Dragon, but now the fight begins.
And Ornn and Orianna are super chunked down, so if Nemesis finds the mark right here, they could turn this around.
Velya with an angle. That's what matters here. You look in the picture in
Oh my
picture.
God.
Turret going down. The Dragon gets them low. Wide in for an engage. Onto Reckless. Crash down to disengage. Nemesis still buying that space as he needs, but his zone control massive. Chains Corruption not connecting. And a long form engage from White Knight that has no follow-up. Walking into Nemesis is a disaster. Is a horror. Is a mismatch. A Shockwave good, but again, where are the kills? Thega gets subjugated by Velya, and subjugated he will be with the chains lashed off. It's now Legless in a 1 versus 3, but Nemesis keeps firing and firing and firing and firing, and Legless doesn't have a single chance against the right of this Arcane.
How do they keep doing it in every single game, finding the 4 versus 5, using the Zerath's range and kiting, pulling apart Barca around that Wraith Pit? They just could not navigate that fight. Nemesis damage. I saw you visually cringe, Trouble, on this W right here.
Oh yeah, that was absolutely insane, the damage from Nemesis. But the fact that Barcelona splits up right here is what's important. They're running headfirst into a Fnatic bush that they knew they were running into, and then again, your 2 carries are split. Checolat's running for his life on the top side, whilst Legolas running for his life on the bot side. They have never really played that front to back that we really talked about from Champ Select.
It feels like this moment is layering in the sand that these fights seem impossible. Barca are 8,500 gold in the ground. Close moments within this game in the last, but as you said, Trouble, no front-to-backs have happened.
Oh,
no moments of Shockwave from Checolate, and he flashes. But with the Rite of the Arcane again, all it needs to hit is 1 more. An objective bounty, yes, for bot. But a kill through mid, opening up towards the inhib.
Is he soloing Atakan?
I think Velya might be soloing Atakan.
he's
Brownie's
chomping.
going to help. But Baus was here to defend bot, so...
Yeah, Velya's health bar wasn't moving. He could definitely do the solo if he wanted to. But just going to accelerate a little bit with Crownie here. They're trying to cross-map. Can Baus clear the way? Probably not.
Chains of Corruption. Bit of range here. There's good damage. He does pay respect. He's trying to get out, but a depth charge has now burnt quite a lot. Objective bounty is nice, and Baus in a small mini Kled gets out. That engage would have hit. He would have found his mark, and 2 turrets here for Barca stimulates some gold growth.
On the other side, Atakan, the whole top quadrant of Thager's jungle, and a tower just about to take a huge hit from the side of Barca. So Barca are in pretty desperate scenarios right now. You need to make some picks. You need to grab some shutdowns. Tower's gonna go down. Atakan's gonna go down. The whole top side of the jungle is gonna go down. And Baus
They're not letting them breathe. Bear trap on a rope. Wide in, looking to be reeled back in. There's no Chains of Corruption. LR a little bit short of the engage for now, but they're chasing Barca back. Though you're also on the way in, but you look at the timing here. It's with a wave crashing in for inner turret. Bit of gold, maybe an opportunity to fight again.
They haven't been able to spend the gold from taking the tier 2 tower, which was their cross map. If they fight at this point in time, they are no stronger than they were 5 minutes ago. So it's really important that they find this reset. The backs being delayed means that Lost Returners are going to take a tier 2 of themselves.
Stun doesn't connect, but Nemesis, all he has to do is auto-attack and he'll get mana back. His damage still immense with Magi's as well. Needlessly large in inventory. He's onto his 3rd item now.
The problem here is there's so much wave clear still with Orianna.
Oh my
and
God,
Lethal
Legolas.
Devourers, there's so much damage coming
Okay.
through, and so much wave clear from the sort of Barca that they either need to make a pick, play it 5 versus 3 or 5 versus 4 for themselves, Los Ratones, to push in those waves. Next objective, 1 minute on the map for the Dragon, and I'm assuming Barca are going to have to try and somehow make a move now that at least they have a second item onto the Orianna.
That Zeroth ulti onto the Varus was close, eh? That was really, really close. Legolas walking to base on like 100 health. Almost sniping there with the Magi's picked up for the Zeroth as well. I'm not sure how you navigate this versus the Pillar and then spells from Nemesis. The fight's going to be very difficult.
Faust is going to take this fight. You know he is, but Thane is also
There's 4 members around.
I guess
He
that's
has
probably
the
why he's not showing for
empowered
now.
recall. He's
Oh, they're coming. Oh, they're coming.
Well,
look on your minimap.
I mean, because objective bounty's being picked up, and for Barca, credit to them, they're actually starting to break down some of these turrets, but Barca's going to cut off the escape route. Maybe the last charade, the last fight is in here for Barca, but onto Checolate, the bear trap on a rope from Bout is putting down some damage. He's caught out, though, before the rest of LR are coming in. Reckless, too. With a windmill ulti in, he dies, but White Knight now finds Nemesis at full range. The rest of the team trying to get there, but Nemesis still not far enough close. As Barca are getting poked out a little bit. Thega gets a good ulti down onto Crownie, but the damage is not there. He flashes, and this is how far behind they are. Into Nemesis, that won't cut it. Bjorn gets away, back to his station. But White Knight, now that he's gone,
oh, he's looking.
No one to defend Legolas, and White in.
Has flash.
Over the wall, Velia takes a jump. White In's going to be next, and this grand final is once again being smothered by Los Ratones back-to-back right now on the cards, and all it takes is one more team fight, one more base to crumble.
And that was a winning fight for Barca. They had gotten 2 picks. They forced a flash off of Crownie as well. They forced a flash off of, Baus didn't have flash, so they punished those 2. But like Nemesis kept free firing from underneath his tower. And Legolas, I feel like he's been chunked every single fight, just can't walk up.
You have to feel for White Knight as well. Really trying to send it with the engage. They're running down Nemesis as best as he can, but he gets trundle ulted and he's just one shot. And he has to back away on such low HP. He can't find the engage. And then you just lose so much off the back of trying to defend Baus the entire time and not really being able to impact the game.
What more can you say? You know, it does feel again like these players are head and shoulders above anyone else in the ARLs right now. We've had this discussion. We've seen close calls. Again, it was like super massive last, but they were like, oh, you know, it was, you know, the Turkish League almost able to take him down. Same again with Boostgate. But then, since then, it's been stomps, it's been domination, a Chains of Corruption, buffered ulti from Baus, but with an Ornn ulti coming out, remember, Baron's up in 11 seconds. If Baus dies here, there are still no big ultis for Barca, so 4 versus 5, but you're 8,500 gold in the dirt. You need to find something without those ultis. He was dancing.
Wait.
Yep. Okay. Fair enough. White Knight was dancing. So what else can you do?
All right, fair. Oh, Legolas?
Legolas. This is
Hit
the
it.
part where Zarath can one
Okay,
shot.
really good. Oh,
Oh my dear
Oh,
God.
the Storm Surge!
Storm Surge kills him.
So that pick on the Baus now means nothing.
He had flash.
I don't think he expects the Storm Surge. Who does?
Yeah.
To be fair, at the end of that.
I mean, if you get hit by that last one anyway, you're definitely just
Well,
done.
that's 25 stacks for Nemesis anyway.
Yep. Nemesis done 30k damage. He truly is.
He's showcasing
a king of the mid lane.
The power of the artillery into the blind pick control mages.
But this guy can play everything. This is the problem. Nemesis, what a tournaments he's had towards the end of NLC. There were some question marks. I know he wasn't having the best performance, but he came into EMEA Masters and he's been taking names. Now
Chasing Baus again.
Doing the same. Shockwave going to be bringing him back in. White in is here. And to contribute as Baus flashes over, there's a dredge line waiting. He'll go into small Kled, but even though he dies again, even though he's now way past the 120 deaths, with the push through mid, LR are trying to take some more base defenses with all the members showing through bot. This is going to be the straw that breaks the already broken camel's
It's
back.
5 versus 4, but very crucial ultimates are missing from the sort of Barca. Now they turn it around, they're tipping in.
They're going to use themselves a Hex Gate onto Velia. They've got an isolated target. That's nice. With teleport. Thega now joins in, or rather, is Checolade. But look, Los Ratones on different members. Reckless missing that ulti. It's a bit chaotic. It's a bit crazy, but it works because Los Ratones
They're rats with crazy minds. Right of the arcane again. And for Barca running back to their base, there's no place like home, but there is no longer home. Teleport to the last Nexus turret, but with the minions already in the base, this might just be it.
Crowny chunks, Velia chomps, and Los Ratones Lila!
They already did this 3-0 in IJC in winter. They're doing it again versus Barca in spring. It seems so simple, taking down Europe, one country at a time. We ask, who can stop them? Who can stop this infestation of rats? It's a new dynasty, new era. It's NLC's time to shine. And led by the Los Ratones, your back-to-back spring EMEA champions. They do it all again.
What more can you say? Absolute domination. We said it at the beginning. Every final they've played, they have 3-0'd.
And it's continuing. Hasn't stopped. I mean, the question is now, can they do it for Summer again and Summer NLC?
No. I think the question here becomes, who can even take a game in finals versus them? That's the big question.
True.
A game.
How do they do it every single time?
Back to back, your champions. There were some doubts again. They got sent to the lower bracket. They got sent to a game 5. But it's like the script writes itself as soon as they get past quarters.
It's on purpose. More
into
games,
semis.
more content.
Because after that, everyone's watching, and I mean, they are good. They're good. And Barca, unfortunately, Spain just didn't get to play that series, it feels. Like, that was a completely different series to their semi-finals versus KC Blue, which looked competitive at points. But, yeah, LR smashed them apart.
I'm not gonna lie, I think it's a case of nameplates on. Like Nord discussed among themselves about this. We saw Barca the entire tournament and how they were playing, and today they were just not themselves.
Yeah, I think Velia as well, just to give credit, I think Velia has played so well today.
True.
On the Trundle, on the Viega resets.
But he has through semis as well, right? Like, just been...
Yep.
But today, Velia was just cracked. He was so good. I don't know what happened.
Artrom, you're going to start talking a shoot soon, you know, with your nice white suit. But like...
It's part of the plan.
Cut him off.
Go with it.
It's unfortunate, isn't it? But
it is, yeah.
LR are just so good. Your region is kicking up.
Finally. It took us a while, but with this in mind, well, we have to say it. Eragon, for once, was correct on predictions and statements. I'm really happy for that, at least. Los Ratones winning 3-0 final versus Spain versus Barca. An amazing team regardless, but they were not able to handle with the pressure coming in from the Rats. It's the lower bracket run. It is the buff. Baus was saying the truth. I think the interview with Baus, with that smile as well, that confidence. Some people may call him crazy. He just succeeds. He's the GOAT. He's the
crazy
Messi.
genius.
He's a genius. Welcome back.
You know what I like?
What?
I like the rat climbing the tower.
He's climbed.
No, not only that. Look at that.
And
they are on top of the world.
Oh my, the
Earth.
globe.
They've taken over the Earth.
We really try, okay? We really try.
The globe is a rat now.
It is. It is. The plague doesn't
It's
stop.
a question of what is next, I guess.
The
worlds.
Is that
worlds.
it?
Baus said it's worlds,
said
right?
it. 2 worlds, 2 years plan, right? First year he controls
Yeah,
Europe.
Rels?
Yeah, and then he moves into Korea and ends up the world and takes the trophy and moves out and has kids.
The prophecy is told.
Yep.
That's how it is.
He told us his plan. We're just seeing it unfold.
You know what? If that happens, I will shave my head on the broadcast.
I'll join you.
We both should.
Okay, but like so many people have shaved their heads. We need to up the stakes.
Tell
Like,
me. Tell me.
Anything, bro. Like paint your beard pink.
I don't have a beard. How do I join in on this? I can't grow one.
I'm so sorry.
Paint whatever little hairs you have on your face.
We'll
pink.
find something. We'll find something. Well, we'll do it. If Baus wins Worlds in 2 years, we'll find something. We'll find something. You have to join as well. I mean, when we
Paint my hair. I'll dye my hair pink.
No, you want to do that. That's why you predicted it. By the way, Reckless died once during the entire series.
Holy moly.
Yeah, keep that in mind. He died once.
One time.
Yeah, Baus was
So
capable
still
of
top
providing the
KDA,
rest.
I'm pretty sure. I'm
The
pretty sure
entire
it's top
tournament.
There was so much
100%.
action down in bot side as well. That's mental.
Yeah.
Did they have the best KDA and the worst KDA on the same team?
Yes.
I think they actually did.
You want to know something? I was actually looking at the team with the highest deaths, and it's not LR. LR are actually somewhere like middle of the pack, like lost with other teams.
Yeah.
But I'm like, no matter how hard Baus tries,
Reckless
He can't.
compensates.
Reckless compensates
like-
on the other side, yeah.
It's perfect. It's the yin and the yang. Let's do something on live, on broadcast that we never did before. Who would be your MVP of EMEA?
The entirety of EMEA.
Yeah,
has
yeah.
to be
Not
Nemesis.
talking only finals.
Nemesis.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Velia.
Velia.
I think he's played fantastically well for the series. He's brought a huge array of different champions. And even though I do truly still believe that mechanically, probably Nemesis is the best champion. The best player. The best player on any champion that
He is a
LR
champion of
has.
EMEA.
I think the things that Velia does behind the scenes that people don't see, the way he covers for Baus, the way he covers for the team, the way that I watched him play the NLC finals, the new champions he's bringing in, you know, but bringing back the Kindred, playing the Kazakhs, now the Trundle, he did fantastic the whole series here, and I feel like he's definitely an unsung hero.
I would actually go with Nemi
I think
as well.
Velia for this series is definitely the MVP. I think he was on one. I don't know, like just the Viego game, the Trundle game, completely dictating the whole game both times in team fights.
You said Nemesis and then you say the
Velia for
Trundle?
the series.
For the series.
Velia for the series, but Nemesis for the overall tournament.
Yeah, I think the
it's fair.
captain, my captain of Nemesis, the way he keeps the team together like a glue, it's ridiculous. And the way he shapes himself in terms of a champion pool, like he can play like the Assassins, only AP, I know, but like Assassins,
not
AP.
Aaliyah. I mean, I don't know, man.
Just to talk about the hovers as well, because like your point exactly, he hovers Akali completely on one side of the spectrum to Xerath, right? Just such different champions.
Hovers don't matter though.
But he definitely can play it.
He has played it.
Both
but yeah.
viable answers into the
He has
Orianna
played it,
and
yeah.
goes for the Xerath.
That's the problem. That's the solution. And we're waiting for the interview. Don't worry, everyone. I know there's a lot of rats over there. Let me see just who's saying
who we got for the
Velia
interview?
MVP, Nemesis MVP, Reki the MVP, by the way. I also agree with that. I think Reckless has been so good, so good. It's disgustingly good the way he plays on momentum and actually spacing out the cooldowns. Are they on? Can I call him? Hey, it's time for the interview. We did it on Spring. We'll do it again.
Let's go.
For the interview and just saying congratulations, it's Cadril in Nemesis with us. Welcome to the studio.
Hello.
You did it
Hello,
again.
hello.
You did it again. The trio. How is this possible?
Get back!
How's your heart, Cadril?
Good. It was a trio, bro. I didn't even have to stress. Every game, the early game, they were smashing. I mean, the team's crazy. Everyone's crazy.
There's a golden rat road. We call it the golden road, but we have the golden rat for you folks. Is it possible? A Nemesis, join in. What do you think? The golden rat. Is this something that you can pull it off?
It's for sure possible. We're for sure gonna go for it. 3 NLC splits, 3 EU Masters.
Nemesis,
W in
congratulations for the second win back-to-back. Wait, I can't see you because the rat is in the way. Hold on, I'm going to hold the rat. Okay, I'm just holding the rat, man. It's fine. Nemesis, you're coming into this game, and we built up Chocolate like no other. Like he played like a demon this entire tournament. I'm sure you witnessed it again in your first series versus him as well. How did you prepare going up against him in this series, and what is your opinion of how he played versus you guys in the first one?
Yeah, Chocolate is for sure like one of the better mates I faced in this tournament, even like in Scream and stuff. How I prepared versus him, well, last time we faced him, they kind of demolished us, so I like went to recheck all the like laning phase spots and kind of like got a pattern how he wants to play. Recognized some of the like ways they beat us and was very careful about this, like thoughtful when we were either drafting or playing the game. Today, I mean, he was trying to make like a lot of plays, right? But they usually fell behind early and then he wasn't able to do a lot. But yeah, he's for sure pretty good, yeah.
Really important, hard-hitting question. Okay, conspiracy, right? You guys pretended to be struggling early on in the split, didn't you? I swear, I remember seeing how you were struggling.
Oh no, exposed.
Saying that, but you did this all for viewership, didn't you? Just some kind of drama and not just to keep winning over and over again so your audience doesn't get bored. Is this true?
Yeah, it's all for content. It's all a joke, guys.
all
We're
fake?
actually just like a top 3 LEC team, and we're just kind of faking it all. We're ready for Worlds already. No, I think there was like a patch came in or something, and we had to like figure out the patch, and I think we were like slow on learning the patch, and then another patch came in, and then we kind of learned that a bit quicker, and we were trying to figure out how to play the game, and I think we slowly found it at the right time at EU Masters. So that's good.
Since we're talking about that, I saw a stream of yours, Kedel, where you were talking about, I really like to work with themes, like every split is a theme. Do you believe this theme of the split was lower bracket?
I don't know why lower bracket happened so many times. I mean, it could only happen twice, but it did happen twice. But I think everyone's mental was really good. Like, I think every loss was like a wake up. Oh shit, we have a bad meta read, or we're slacking, or we need to practice even harder. So yeah, the lower bracket definitely helped us improve faster. When you get like a kick up the ass, you change things a lot around. I think we had like one read coming into the tournament, and then it kind of 180'd when we lost in groups to Barcelona. So and then we almost lost to KHK in the group stage, and then from that point we figured it out.
I think the whole thing is scripted. Like Cage just scripted the entire tournament.
Bro, people said I paid for this side of the bracket. I paid to get Nord. I paid the enemy teams to lose. I paid for the second EU Masters, and it is all true. We're gonna get the third one too.
Did you pay the
We're
scriptwriters?
The payroll's running out. Yeah, I did. It's running out of payroll slowly, but I think we got enough for a third.
Bro, if you paid, why the heck was the Boostgate series so hard?
I can't make it obvious.
Oh, okay, sorry. Okay, Nemesis, I want to ask you something. So there was this video from Nord, right? And they were discussing how you guys beat them in the finals 3-0. You beat them again in the quarterfinals 3-0. And they were talking about the mental block when nameplates are on, basically. And you've played in like so many. You play internationally versus like the best of the best. You've played in the ERLs now. You've won the back-to-back in everything you've played in the tournament. Is this really a thing? And do you think that this actually affected Barca today?
I think it is a thing from my experience. I feel like there are players who play under pressure a lot better and players who play under pressure a lot worse. Can't really deny that. I'm not sure if Nord is, playing worse just because it's our nameplates. Like, I can't say that, but I definitely think it's a real thing. And yeah, I played with players who I felt like played worse, like on high stakes matches.
That was Dracos from an ad before, guys. Sorry.
Yeah. He sneaked in.
I forgot what my question was.
You forgot it, didn't you?
I have no idea. I think, oh wait, okay, no. Something I was wondering, right, because I've been glazing you quite a bit on your champ pool, Nemesis. I don't really get how you can just pick something, and it's like a Vlad into a GP. Bowser's like, oh yeah, pick Vlad here, it's really good, right? And you're like, oh yeah, it is, I'm gonna lock it in. And then play really well. You pick Xerath into Ori, you outrange, but like, you play really well. Is there anything you do to maintain having such a big champ pool, or can you just do it?
It's a combination of playing a lot of solo queue and watching a lot of other people play. I think, like, obviously, like, you're supposed to play the game, right? But you can only play a certain amount of games every day, right? So what I like to do is, for example, if I'm really bad at a champ, or I think a champ could be good in the future, maybe Riot is going to buff it, or maybe it is good, but people are not picking up on it. I like to watch other players play it. Like, a good example of that is Akshan. This is a champ that I was never good at, and then I started watching like the OTP Phantasm play it a lot, and I feel like I learned so much from him. So yeah, watching other players is OP, and playing it yourself.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so since you're watching so many like different players, you're trying things out in solo queue, why do you hate Talia?
I don't hate Talia, but I don't think she's as good. The reason why people pick her is because, especially Korean and LPL teams, they have a very certain way of playing the game, which is very like tempo focused, and they just obviously like play only melee support, so they group up mid and look for picks and stuff like that. But first of all, in the leagues that we play in, the game is played a lot differently, so I don't think we should always copy one-to-one to what they do. And second of all, I just think like, I don't know, I don't find her as strong as other players perceive her to be, I guess.
Wait, Kedril, you laughed when I asked that question.
Yeah.
Why? Do you think she's strong?
Working with Nemesis has been like such a pleasure because he has such strong opinions of the game, and you will eventually learn after working with him that over a certain period of weeks or months, he was right. Despite like saying, we should do this, he like sees a little bit ahead. He's really invested in like the small numbers of the game. Like there's many champs where I'm like, oh, they played this here or they played that there. And he's like, it's useless. Like, I promise you that champ sucks. And I'm like, are you sure? Like everyone's playing it. He's like, yeah, it's terrible. So when we draft a lot of the time, we'll say, should we ban this champ? Should we pick this champ? And he's like, no, it's useless. And it does turn out to be useless, yeah.
Kedril,
except for Wukong. He was wrong on that one.
Okay, he takes responsibility for one, okay.
One big question. Okay, you have to give me a number now. Okay. What? How much percentage of this best of 5, the 3-0, the winning the tournament, was you? Was it like 50% coach, 50% rest of team? How much impact did you have, do you think?
I don't know, 0%. They
0%?
They just I think they gapped them in every role. I think I could have drafted like 5 Sorakas and we could win. I feel like everyone was mega locked in. Not to disrespect the enemy team, but I feel like everyone individually outperformed their counterparts. So I think it doesn't really matter what you do for prep or pick if people do that.
Who's your MVP, Kadril? You have to choose only one.
I don't know. I think Neme popped off in the last game, but the Hoi game, he had a couple mistakes.
Oh, no.
Reckless had a great series. Velia kind of fried second game. For me, it's between like Velia and Reckless.
Okay.
I like it. Well, let me take this opportunity, Nemesis. You've been here before. You've done this a long time ago, taking EMEA home. My question to you is, what makes this team? Because it's unstoppable, but you can see the flaws. But it's always corrected at the end, and the team still pops off regardless. What makes this team what it is currently?
Well, it's a lot of things, I would say. It's where do I even start? I think we're just really good at adapting what we need to change. We're not delusional with ourselves. We can be harsh to one another when the time hits. I think we're good at like reading the meta, what champions win us the games, what don't, what our strengths are, what our weaknesses are. Or we're not gonna like sugarcoat it or be delusional about them. I don't know, it's a lot of things. It's just when you have a lot of talented players put together, it's beautiful.
If I might, before you jump in, because I agree 100% with what you brought in, tell me something. You've worked with a lot of professional players, a lot of people during your life. How hard is it to explain to Baus that another wave is not the correct answer sometimes?
Baus, I mean, he's very stubborn in his own way, right? Sometimes, like, about things, he's for sure very stubborn, but he's also open-minded. And sometimes it does take a couple of tries to tell him, hey, this is wrong, and he eventually realizes it. Sometimes he doesn't, but it's good that the player has strong opinions. I really like that about like any player, and as long as you can convince them in a reasonable manner and they will listen eventually, if you're right, then it's fine. But Baus is, I would say it's not that easy to convince him.
Yeah, well, we'd know from Kadril saying, are you going tank here, right? He's like, yeah, sure. Rocket Bell locked in first item.
8 months ago, people said Baus's playstyle could get figured out or it wouldn't work. 8 months later, he's a back-to-back champion. So
true.
Let's see if they figure it out.
Mic drop. I want to navigate that question to both of you. Kadril, I would like you to answer second after Nemesis. Feel free to not want to reply either, because I wanna dig a little bit deep. Back when you were a pro player, then you took a break, Nemesis, and then you said that, like, teams were just not wanting to have you in the team, and and Kadril gave you that chance to play in Los Ratones. And there were a lot of rumors like, oh, Nemesis is not easy to work with, or Nemesis is not good at reviews. I've heard you pull the team together when there's doubts in the team, where it's in-game, and you pull them back together and you calm them down and you give them the answer and you provide answers to their questions in-game. Would you say that this team has helped you in terms of character development, or has it always been there but not put out to the world to see?
Ooh. I would say it's always been there, but people have not seen it, honestly. I think that plays a bigger part. Like, of course, I've learned a lot of things being on this team, that I wouldn't have if I wasn't, but I'm not gonna say that I wasn't kind of similar in the past.
teammate Nemesis.
All right. And you, Kadril? What do you have to say about his character development in the team?
I don't know. I feel like at first it took a bit of time for him to like get a warming to me, or maybe trust me, or like open up a bit. But then I think he opened up, and I think we get along really well now. We have like our morning calls about draft, or we like play some 1v1s, and he loses sometimes or stuff like that. So I think it's been really good to get to know him as Tim rather than Nemesis.
Ooh,
that's very important.
Now, production. May I announce the MVP? Am I allowed to announce the MVP, production? Just waiting. I don't think that...
Do we not have an MVP yet?
Can I? I don't know. What? Yeah, we talked about this.
Okay, just to fill in the time. Nemesis, who do you think is the MVP of this series?
Touché.
Who do I think? For me, like...
You can say yourself too.
No, I mean, I'm never gonna put myself. I'd prefer if other, like my teammates, get like the praise and the shine. I don't really need it. For me, it's between Crowny and Reckless. Like both of them are obviously like veteran players, and yeah, I mean, I don't know, they're just so easy to play with.
And
Again.
Dasha, who is the MVP?
I was just waiting for the
Okay.
the green light, and the MVP of the entire, at least EMEA spring. It is Nemesis. Congratulations. I think the captain, my captain. You
Big
deserve it
W.
more.
Big.
It's the captain, my captain, I think.
Yeah.
What do you have
All
to
right.
say, Nemesis?
Now
Like,
give a speech to all the rats watching you.
ooh, big.
Speech.
I'm not very good with speeches. I want to say, I guess, thank you for the MVP. I don't know, like it's a blessing to play in this team. I'm just here to do my job, which is to play well. And if I don't play well, then I need to learn to play well. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't know what to say.
Hey.
That was good enough.
That's more than good enough for everybody who watches Nemesis. That's amazing. Hey, last words before we wrap up the interview. What's next for the Rats?
Well, summer. NLC again, EU Masters again, and then see what happens after that. But we're gonna go for everything. We're gonna try and win everything and not drop any games and see how good we can do. I think the longer the year goes on, you know, for example, we have like 2 weeks or 3 weeks now until we're gonna have to start again. And in between winter and spring, we had like at max 5 days. So the year can get quite long and tiring. So we're gonna hopefully get some good rest now and then send it for summer.
Congratulations, Los Ratones, for all the rats in the world as well. Final words from both of you before we cut this.
GG.
Go first.
GG XDD, I guess. XDD.
We PGG.
Thank you so much for both of you. Absolute cinema. Congratulations. I'll see you soon.
Congratulations, guys.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There you go. There's not much to say. Your question was amazing because it's actually a really big debate on the Nemesis thing.
I mean, there was so much like circulating the internet. Of course, not everything you read on the internet is correct, but it's like teams were not willing to give Nemesis another chance after Fnatic, right? So the fact that he's here and he's so open and everything's out in the open, his comms, the way he does reviews, the way he speaks to his teammates, the way, you know, Kedro said, hey, he wasn't warming up to me at first, but then slowly he did and he started trusting me. Like, this shows a lot of character development.
Yeah, it's really wholesome, honestly. I wanted to follow up on your question, but my question was just completely inappropriate compared to like yours, which was, I wanted to ask if I could join Lost Returners Academy, but like then you asked this deep question and it just wouldn't have followed up well.
There's no academy yet, buddy.
Yeah, but what if there was?
Oh.
What if there was?
What do you know?
That'd be great.
Hamsters?
Application denied, I think.
Application denied. No, like, I really like it because, you know, on scrims, they sometimes clash. And I think it's because they have big personalities, big
every
ideas.
team does,
They
right?
know,
Yeah.
but they fixed it instantly. And I think that brings the team into another level. When you look into super teams, they often like collapse because of ego and stuff like that. On all esports, these guys are just making it work. And Los Ratones, 3-0. The Rats are taking over Europe. It's the plague.
Yeah,
What do you
looking
say?
for a team that will take one game off of them in the
Yep.
finals, honestly.
I mean, in the history of all teams that have done extremely well for Europe, vibes have been the most important thing, and they've got really good vibes, so I don't think anything's stopping them. Golden Rat is true.
Golden Rat is true. I don't know if you agree that, chat, but well, we end up yet another broadcast from EMEA Masters, this time for spring. The Rat controls Europe at the moment. If they do it again, it's the Golden Road. Never done before at EMEA. Do you believe?
I do. It's a harder golden road as well, right? It's an extra split, it's an extra EMEA Masters, it's an extra NLC, but so far they have showed that there are no rivals so far.
Golden Rat, baby. Nothing's stopping it.
If they make it, we bring this Rat once again.
It needs to be an emote.
Huh?
Golden Rat needs to be emote for sure.
I hope so. I hope so. We need to include that one. If they do it, we bring the Rat and we paint the Rat golden.
We will
on
spray
broadcast.
paint this rat on the table right here golden. We will.
I regret buying it.
That's an
Sorry.
EMEA Masters promise.
And production just fired him.
Yes, there you go. Oh, yeah, the MVP of the
Yeah, he's
split.
gone.
Yeah. From us, well, it was lovely to have you with us through the entire broadcast on semifinals and finals. The Rats takes it home on the 3-0. Until then, you know we're going to meet again on summer. Keep watching all the ERLs to keep updated and follow EMEA Masters on all social medias to also know what is happening. Until we meet again, we love you very much. Keep climbing, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Freely using Katarina's cook.
Kindred cautiously cooked Kit Kat cupcake.
Kindred cautiously cooked Kit Kat cupcake.
Even the biggest champ needs a break.
Kindred cautiously
cooked Kit Kat cupcakes.
Carefully using Katarina's cute cookie cutters.
Ooh, I'm on it. I'm ready. Let's go.
We ain't come to play, we don't run away, we gon' elevate, watch us elevate. We on a mission, yeah. We on a mission, yeah. We ain't come to play, we don't run away, we gon' elevate, watch us elevate. We on a mission, yeah. We on a mission, yeah. We on a mission. Crushing every bit of competition. We on a mission. Know that there's no competition. We on a mission. Crushing every bit of competition. We on a mission. Know that there's no competition. We on a mission. We ain't come to play, we don't run away, we gon' elevate, watch us elevate. We on a mission, yeah. We on a mission, yeah. We ain't come to play, we don't run away, we gon' elevate, watch us elevate. We on a mission, yeah. We on a mission, yeah. We on a mission. Crushing every bit of competition. We on a mission. Know that there's no competition. We on a mission. Crushing every bit of competition. We on a mission. Know that there's no competition. We on a mission.
Game time. We on a conquest. Came a long way. Look at the progress. I see no competition. It ain't no contest. You ain't in discussion. Not even a prospect. Yeah, you better go and get to meditating. Yeah, we coming for you, no hesitation. Might as well call the league up. Tell them put the trophy on reservation. Been going up, that's elevation. No holding back, no preservation. Treat off season like postseason. No days off, this dedication.
Game time, don't expect us to play nice. We got plans to take every record home. One thing you should know is how to
Yeah, you better go and start meditating. Yeah, we coming for you, no hesitation. Look. Yeah, no holding back, no preservation, no off days, this dedication. Game time, get out the way, we coming through. Check the hang time, been on top, ain't nothing new. A lot of talk, whole lot of noise, but ain't cutting through. Word on roll, you got a couple L's, you'll have another soon, don't sweat. Whole lot of sacrifice, no regrets. Whole lot of dubs, but ain't done yet. Say you the one, but ain't one yet. Running the game, ain't take one step. Hold up. Yeah, all emotions aside. There's nowhere to run, there's nowhere to hide. How you gon' play when the game on the line?
game time, don't expect us to play nice. got plans to take every record home. One thing you should know is how to.
Yeah, you better go and start meditating. Yeah, we coming for you, no hesitation. Look. Yeah, there's nowhere to run, there's nowhere to hide. How you gon' play when the game on the line? Came for the dirt, but it ain't no shame. Had to put the work in, grind day by day. All the blood, sweat, tears, no pain, no gain. I was ready for the moment and it came my way. Where the spotlight shine, where they say my name. It's the life I chose, the price I paid, a lot of sacrifices every day.